Yeah, hell, I'll just start it. Hi, I'm Brenda Jean Power. I am Medicine Woman Solution Show, and this is not how I wanted to start the day. And can you be in charge of it? So, what's on your mind? What's going on with you? We're in this middle of waking up, and so there's so many different types of ways to think and feel. I don't know if you can hear that. Somebody has got a large pump or compressor, and what's fascinating about it is that it gets super loud, and I was debating whether I could do the show because usually when I'm letting that energy through to translate the codes, I normally, what do you call it, need it quiet to some degree. But this thing is not just making noise, it's vibrating the ground. So they're doing something outside. And so I'm like, oh, but being a spiritual human is where you stop over identifying with matter. And when you do that in such a way, you should be able to move to the third option, move to the resolve. Like I said, I was debating, do I go on? What do I do? How do I do it? To the point where I can feel it's like just enough of a vibration. And have you ever seen how sand is all over and then they turn on the speakers and it starts taking shapes? Well, I can feel like that is happening into my body, the water molecules, because our cells always move in and out of existence. And it's like they said, 1 minutes are not a problem. Any of that's not a problem. But when it's like, what am I supposed to talk about today? So that's why I said, what is on your mind? Because by knowing what's on your mind, maybe I can just start focusing on you, because it depends on, like, having a miracle. First, you believe there's a higher power. Yes, I do. And if you allow yourself to know that the intelligence that's inside of you runs you, and your heart, your blood, everything, so you don't think about it. What if we could tap into that? What if we could sit there and tap into it in such a way that allows us to, I don't know, that allows us to become you. And that is, your subconscious mind is my body, it's your body, it's everything, it's all the cells, it's all the things that make it with you. And if you tap into that, and you can be on the shoulders of giants, or you can tap and ride the intentional, innate wisdom and ask it, communicate with it. What do I need to do? What? Now, this is where the what ifs are very important, because when you start to ask them in spiritual mindset, it's a good thing. It's when you ask, when you are over-identifying with pain and stuff that causes you to not allow you to be in a state of receiving. I don't even know if that makes any sense, because I'm vibrating completely different right now. I just felt some type of tone. So I'm just going to ask Spirit if they could realign me to doing this. I think what we might do is let you know, hey, how you doing? I see somebody that may be new, some people that are different, and I don't, okay, good. Whew, it's so loud. Anyway, it's I'm just asking Spirit that does the environment, which for everything, your DNA, all of it gets affected by the environment. Does my environment have to take and set the tone for my inner world to go in and hit the files, and this is how I'm supposed to react? As you begin to wake up spiritually, you start to realize that there's a you, and then there's these parts of you. It is coming back to the unity of these parts. And you can track back, like Jennifer says, you trigger it from a younger life, no control. And tracking is important. One of the things that I'm going to be teaching in the courses is about how to track. So let's find this out. We have somebody else new too here. That's awesome. We'll give you 2 minutes. Just give breathing. Just give me a minute here. So tracking in some cases, I'm going to ask Spirit, yes, when you're in ego, can you track? Not as good. So you do your focus. You do your focus. You say, you know, there's the breathing, there's all these steps that you can do. And right now I'm just doing my realigning and tuning out. Now, if it's too strong, I'm going to use a healing tool, but it's not that strong. I'm watching how it's tapping into my files. And the files is what I want to read. And one of the things I say here is there's a chemical peptide dump that came about. It sits in my C5, okay? Sits in my C5, and it's about attracting in something that I'm chasing. Okay, so what does that mean? Now, chemical peptide dump is that you had an experience. And I'll say, when was it? And they said, well, if you wanted to go back further, it was basically, it's to do with the frequency. I said, you want me to go back to the Bardo? They said, no, to go back to a particular part of a past life, genetic line, cultural. It's how the story within how I had to readjust. And I said, so you're saying that about, so there's the first event, and then there's the event that happened inside. So they said at 7 years old, the sound, and I says, the chemical peptide dumps, how much? They go becoming very self-conscious with some anxiety. Okay, so that file says that. I said self-conscious because I'm doing something where other people can see me, and I'm not sure how to readjust. I need learning to adapt versus readjust to do what I need to do. So 7 years old, I was being yelled at. That's what I can hear. And the chase I'm and is that I'm discouraged. Now, what does that mean? It means that an incident happened. Oh my God. And I'm going to hold on to that. And I'm going to fight. I'm going to think about it so it never happens again. And by holding on to it so that you don't forget and you don't forgive and or you don't let go because you don't want it to happen again. How can I make sure this doesn't happen again? But if I learn it by focusing on the health, no. What we've learned is that when you, oh my God, first you got to let go of that feeling. Okay, it's an actual snapshot of a feeling that gets lodged in there. That's one of the things we measure. But understanding that you thought about it, so you're firing and wiring, and the body knows you better than you know yourself, and it's a crappy program. It sits on the nerves. So this is where the chemical peptide dump. Why? Because every cell has receptors. And the key is informational substance, such as this noise that it annoys me. In this case, it causes me self-conscious, anxiety, and discouragement. And it's tapping into how, because now my body is doing a physiology where my eyes are changing. I'm getting very timid, and I don't know how to readjust. It's like I don't see now it's starting to stop. Oh, as if that's it, so be it. Yeah, I don't know how to readjust. And so I literally am now at this key point of where and how I ended up taking and doing readjusting, but I couldn't readjust. So now what is this? And they said, as a human, you're going to point out to the environment because the environment's triggering you, but you got to remember that if you didn't have the file in the first place, the environment wouldn't have triggered you. So it's not about blaming, but what we do is just humans without understanding. It's that fault. It's this. That's something I ate. Now, granted, if you drink, it's going to affect you. If you're going to be in the emotional aspect of drama, your body is going to have a chemical peptide dump in the way that it doesn't trapped, but it will just linger as residue until your body shakes it off and cleans it out. Big problem is that we didn't know how to shake it off. We know how to hold on to it because it's like we don't want this to ever happen again. So if I memorize how it happened, then it won't happen again. Here's the problem with quantum law of attraction. What you focus on expands, and what you focus on, you become a chase. Not that you want it, but because it's the GPS. And so you are chasing it. You don't want it to happen. So now you're trying to run from it, but you can't help the fact that you're running towards it. This is why we have to let go. This is why we have to help people retrain the way that they think so they don't have to be in those particular stages. Thank you, Spirit. Generator with ex-husband you had to buy, timid. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, well, that's an experience. So here's what she's talking about is that here's this moment here, right now. You jump back, and what's called a fractal is that there'll be certain fractal moments that you will gather with different experiences about something. And we had an issue, oh my God. For me, okay, so it's 2021, what is it, 2012, 2013? I don't even remember now. And we had lost electricity and all this other stuff. And there was just a bunch of people in the house. And it's like, okay, so what can we do? And my sister had a generator, but it didn't quite work. And it is like 2013. Okay. Yes, all you new people, hang on, and I'll give you a 2 minutes free. And yes, Amber, I see you too. So what happens is that it's repeating, and my reactions, the wow, the invalidation. It's, I learned a huge thing that day, which was if I can't do it, no one can. And what I say goes, and it's like, what? Because if it doesn't inconvenience me, it can't inconvenience you. And I'm like, what? So did a lot of healing, and hence to the point where I didn't just leave. I healed my emotions, my shit, and we just didn't resonate anymore. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump in. I know Spirit normally talks, but I also want to let you know I want to honor those people that are new. If you really want one, say yes. I'd like my reading or a reading, and I see a lot of people that are new, and I want to honor you. Now, a lot of people know that I will do timestamps. So even if you wanted it and I miss you, chances are I'm going to give you a reading. And you can find it at the top of the video when you come back, usually your name and a timestamp. Now, as long as I don't lose it, then I can whatever. The point is, I'm also going to go to TikTok, and I think I'm going to do that on Thursday. So the only way I know how to do it is have my phone here and do it through Facebook and through TikTok. Okay. So like I said, you're new, you'll get 2 minutes, and we're just going to jump right in because my body is now, I can feel how the environment, and I can feel how that's happening. I asked Spirit, do you want me to just heal it out? They go, no, I got the piece of information which needs to be healed out later. That's why it stopped. And I said, okay. And if it starts again, more investigating. Gotcha. We do have a waiting list. If anybody wants to, they can't stick around and they want a reading. Remember, there's a timestamp up above. You just leave, you just go to my message me and then just say 1 minute, please. And usually where you're from, if you want, and then I will give you the reading when I get to the end of that. Okay. So the first person I see that is here that that's new from what I can tell. Candy, if you're here, let me know. Candy Boyer, if not, oh yeah, so we'll just take Amber Elizabeth Allen. Amber Elizabeth Allen, here we go, darling. So the energies that I read is that they're saying that they're using the word dark, and then they use the word contemplate. Please look up what the word contemplate is, or not contemplate, contempt. And because they said there's something where you're running from. And I said, did somebody, oh, you're doing the readjusting. Oh, hopefully you listened to what I said earlier. So you're doing the chase. You'll see that same signature again and again, and all of a sudden you'll just have this incompatible with people, and you want to get close, but you can't because there's an unresolved issue. With that first original thing, person, and they said they want you to go back to 8 years old if you can, and it's like you had to be the one to readjust, nobody else. You had to be the one to readjust. As that began to happen, whatever happened at that 8 years old, you held on. And you're like, oh my God, I don't ever want this to happen again. Now you aged and you may not remember it. And the epi marker I see on here has to do with epicycle, meaning if the behavior to which you learned how to cope, handle, and deal that moment, was similar to how your parents did it, which is the parent, and it's conditioning. So you've watched it. So when you had an incident occur, you already had background of like watching TV of solving an issue. Oh, I could do that, but it was in your environment. So it becomes more of a natural process and a trait because it's an epimarker that sits on your DNA cells. And it's like, this is how you're going to behave. And they said that in a fight, flight, freeze, you are in flight. So there is this, you want to run from because you don't know how to solve it. And as a child, you began to solve it. What they want you to point out is that the key thing in there is that you had trust, and whatever happened caused a distrust. So look at the can you trust people? Do you have trust issues? Do they have trust issues? Where is that angle coming from? Don't just take this information. You can heal out. And it's important to understand information and tracking is good. But even if you just put your hand, touching here in your forehead and keep it there while you're thinking about the issue, and then learn how to open your awareness at how you know this. How do you know this on a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being ugh, and you stay there? What's happening is you're going to help your brain, and you're going to help you start to move in a direction of blood's going to come back up. The body is going to start to relax by getting out of stress and taking out the chemical peptides that cause you to think that way. So you'll start noticing your thoughts, emotions, and more clarity begins to happen. Okay. The next person is Nicole Christian. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible at pronunciation, but Nicole V. That's what we'll call you. I don't know if I read you before, but I'm going to give you 2 minutes anyway. And then after that, we'll go to Candy. Okay, so I'm looking at this energy field. Now it's funny, there's a show me, they show me nothing. They say it's an empty space. And I'm like, what? And they said, suppressed. I need to suppress to get to this empty space so I can focus, so I can actually feel I can breathe. And I said, is that it? And they said, yes. So I said, well, they wanted me to look at your nerves. I said, okay, I'll look at your nerves. And they said, you have to readjust because there was this energy that just seemed to be having a hierarchy, like a bully, a lofty. It's like, it's there. It's overtowering. It's like micromanaging you. And you're like, I am so annoyed by this. It's like, it's there. I don't like it. And at the same time, you don't realize it's like part of your automatic programming. And so you're looking around going, don't take offense to this word, but you're looking for praise. So it's like you do something, you're like, hey, and you're looking for that confirmation, that communication, and you're not getting the feedback that you should be getting. Instead, you're getting the feedback of where you at about 4 years old lost some of your life force to that event at 4, and you're seeing it as an adult. You're seeing it because your soul's asking you, can you heal this now? And they said, if you could go back, you learn to make yourself small so that whatever it is that they're acting, it's just easier if you just kind of make yourself small because their issues are more important than yours. Well, it's time to change that belief because, and I see that what happened is you created a shadow aspect by hiding behind a mask in order to survive these moments. Now you're getting older and your soul's asking you, can you stop doing that? Can we heal that? Yes, you can. You literally can. Oh, good. She forgives me. Thank you. Okay, so my brain from that doggone thing, I probably need to do Wayne Cook, but go to Candy Boyer. Miss Candy, my screen's not moving. Miss Candy Boyer, I'm going to give you 2 minutes too. That way, that spiritual way is confusing. Okay, you're talking about what I'm doing? There's something to do when you started to wake up and there was a certain amount of negative emotions that from a very specific experience. Now I'm asking, did it just dump and play out, or did it become trapped? It is how you were forced, how you saw the energy pushing you, forcing you to readjust to do what they wanted. So it always plays itself out. Okay, so like imagine that a mother and a child, you know, whose behavior is going, who's going to change whose behavior first, because what particular outcome. And this is usually where this forms. And if you don't have the strength to put up with your child, then you're going to like, they'll walk all over you. But if you do have that strength and you've overpowered them, like the generations was you had to put fear into you. The generations was, how do I going to get them behave? You know, and so what I see here is that it created an incompatibility. So when you go to communicate, social, relate with people, that your body says, I have to readjust. I have to do this. And I'm watching your little self about, wow, it's not even yours. I feel like you're a 1 month old. I feel like you're in the arms and there was this fight or there was something violent, something energy is like, okay. So it's not necessarily violent as much as it could be words that were, or emotions or anger, but you held on to that because it was like, what? And it took your attention. It took your attention. And I said, you don't even know what to do with it. And the thing is it wasn't even your stuff. It was just, you happened to be there and you picked it up. What I'm going to tell you to do with that is that I want you to take and just kind of focus on the fact that it feels like it came not at you or whatever. It's not yours. I just want you to find your hairline and then you make sure you tap on both sides and then you end up tapping here. So you'll go, I uncreate and de-story all that is times a gazillion, right, wrong, good, bad, pod, gold, nine, shorts, boys and beyond. What? Okay, it may have gone too fast, but on my fan page or my business page, medicinewomansolution.weebly.com, you can go there and look under the healing tools, clearing statements. I have it on my academy, but I don't have time to explain that. And so look up the word lofty and then try to feel what that feels like. Oh, thank you. Yes, for all the people that have shared, understand, especially if you share and I can see it, like sometimes people in good groups, yeah, that's easy to find. Your name will go into a treasure chest for a chance to win a 15-minute reading with me. And that happens usually, I pick one once a month. People that have paid, like Melanie Long, is, you know, that's the expedites. And they will be going into a treasure chest for a 30 minutes off the air reading with me. Okay. That's how we do that. And let's see. The first up for the expedite is Jennifer Toffel. Then after that would be Melanie Long. Okay. So I just want to make sure, is there any more? Oops, hold on. All right. Oops, went so fast. Share this much. Thank you. To donate, all you have to do is go to paypal.me/reading, no S, reading, and 11. You put the question mark, it helps find it. I don't know why, sometimes it didn't find it the other way, but I appreciate that, Mary. And if you're going to donate at one, you know, are you donating to get a reading? Donate it because it's a love donation, want nothing in return, or just saying thank you. I never know how this. Candy says, my father threw a file. Oh, a file at my mother while she was holding me and broke her leg. Holy crap. Okay, yes, that would make the energy. I can feel that. That makes total sense there. And you're asking Mary, then again, whatever, life and death. My uncle who passed away from accident from a surgery. What's that about? No. Let's see. All right. Did I do Amber Elizabeth Allen? Yeah, I think I did. Oh, my brain. What's going on? Again, thank you very much for sharing. I totally appreciate it. Because this is not just about readings. Yeah, Lorraine has one, and she will. Do you want to do it now? Because you can. Well, let's see. If you can hold off, because I need to do the expedites after that, Lorraine, then we can make arrangements to come on, or just audio only. You can have video. It's up to you. But you have one, and we can go from there when you want. Okay, cool. Yes, and oh, okay, awesome. Yes, the PayPal thing is pinned, and it's also up here. All right, Spirit says recenter. Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, I'm back. Okay, so sometimes when you feel your energy's off, you can do Wayne Cook, and I'm thinking, do I need to do Wayne Cook? That's not it. I said, is there any other healing tool? They go, no. And then, so I just counted to make sure that I can get back to being focused. So I'm going to grab the link, and I'm going to go over and communicate with in a moment, as soon as I figure out where all this goes. All right. Oh, yes, right. What do you call yourself? Oh, I see. Got it. Okay. Now, let me get that link and put it there. Oh, that wasn't a good sign. It just popped up and says Optus is working on the telephone lines. Well, I pray that I don't lose anybody. That would be awful. Or lose the show. Okay, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Give me a moment. Why isn't that working? All right, I will do that. That. Normally I apologize for being slow, but you know, I have my days. Okay. I'm looking for, how come I don't get the share button to share my own show? Well, that's bizarre. Oh, there it is. No, that's not it. Brain is saying, what? I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I think.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, dear?
Oh, man.
What?
This energy is, I don't know what's up with, I think
It's
the
awful.
new moon is, tomorrow for me. And I think we're all just getting ready for this equinox. The energy is like.
I forgot about that. Well, I know that there's energy coming in, which is good. So there's a certain amount of codes. Then I can feel sometimes the different levels of the sun flare and the and a different level of how the earth is responding. And so then I don't, because the planets can even influence you too. So I just know that, and it's like testing, and it's like, oh geez, I've healed so much that is like, yeah, I can do this. But I'm supposed to feel, I feel like I'm pausing, I'm slow, I feel like I'm channeling, I can hear it, but I don't know if it's coming out properly. And it's bizarre. So anyway, let me help you by what would you like to address? See, I
So
can't even
I had this fantastic insight talking to my mom last night about my love life. We'll call it that. So, I mean, I've had one, like at least once in my life. Anyway, so I'm so proud of myself. Like, yay me! I get a gold star for adulting because I went back and I watched your video on the hoarding and the relationship, and I took notes and I paused, and then I went through and I healed. I did that, the breathing, the tapping.
Yes.
Through all the different relationships, 17 relationships in my life.
Ooh,
that I went
okay.
through on a piece of paper. And so there's this connection with hoarding energy and love life. So, and that's what I was asking about the squatters that were out back in the alley. So it got so bad. So there's a reason why I went back and did all my homework, because I had written the notes. I took the notes, but I didn't, I kind of like set it on a table somewhere. So, and then there I was sitting in my car, blocked in by these MFs and not able to get down the alley. So I'm like, but me and MacGyver, like Austin Powers, like I got myself the hell out of there, right? Like, because he was like, I'll be with you in a minute, hun. And I was like, oh, Attila the hun, like, don't you hun me, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I have two choices, right? Like, how the F is this my reality right now? Like, I'm blocked in my car, like by these yahoos, right?
Yeah.
And okay, there's an option. So I just like MacGyvered myself out because I was going to physical therapy, and then I came back and they were still blocking. So I'm like, well, I should probably sit my butt down and do that healing homework. So I did.
Yes, alignment.
Yes. So that was last week. Then this week, I went out and all their stuff was gone. Like, it must have been like a bulldozer. Like, it was the timeline of a week. Like, scooped it up. I mean, there was garbage everywhere. Now they came back.
Oh,
because if nothing else, they are persistent. So like,
that's a sign.
Right? But they're building this, oh my God, I have so much judgment. But anyway, like, so they have.
You said it.
So
we have history, folks. I'm not judging here. This is the way.
Right. This is us. We've been friends for since 2005. We've been friends.
Wow, that's
fine. It's fine. It's fine. But anyway, so they're out there and I think they have to go, but like by the end of the weekend, and then my friend gave me this app that you can contact the city, but then like I have this snitches get stitches, thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I ain't gonna snitch, but like I also am gonna live my life. So I did all this healing. So I told and I was like so excited that they were gone. Well, I went out today and I saw them, and now my digestion has just literally bottomed out. The insight that I had with my mom last night, because we were talking about this, was whenever love comes into my life, whenever romance comes in, whenever I'm like so freaking close, like hoarding energy, kabloom, right in my lap. And it's not me, I'm not hoarding. It's somehow connected. It is male energy. So it is male because it was my ex-husband's mother. It was my ex-boyfriend's mother. And so I become somebody else because I'm reacting to the hoarding. And so then I become this other version. And then I'm like, I can't tell you how many times I've told I'm talking about my twin flame. I'd really like to reunite. We're on the outs right now. I don't know how many times I've told him that I've been triggered. But then I looked at the timeline. Things were going south when those people entered into the alley.
All right, ready? 9 years old. There's things that are worst case scenarios, things that are unreal. There are the bonding technique that you created with an unrealistic timeline. Okay, so what happens is that when our ego goes in the left brain, disconnects, it creates false meaning and it creates a false reality. You were going into a space at 9 years old that somehow you didn't have stuff that represented your identity.
Mhm.
So you were in a space where in order to identify, you have to bond with that. And therefore it's other people's stuff. And you're hoping to some degree that you can, you'll find yourself if they find you. But people just hoard. And what do you do when they hoard is that you become this second best thing that you've been holding on to. And they said what happens is that if you look at alpha and beta, delta, omega, you know, just the way people are in a relationship, you can't be the alpha because they're always somebody that's screaming. Now, I don't know. All I can see is it starts with a G. That's all I'm going to say. You already know who that is. But then it's like bonding is that you have to take the beta role. You have to take that testing role. You have to take, so go look up what beta relationships is, because there's this wound. And I'm like, well, what's the wound? My heart is broken. My heart is broken. And I said, all right, what does that mean? And they said, well, part of the way that I wrote my code to survive had changed my magnetic field. So instead of being magnetically balanced, all right, instead of being like this, you've gone into a negative stance. You're down to a -1, which isn't bad, but you don't know how to make it stop. You don't know how to make it stop. And they said the magnetic deficiency will start showing up in the body as, like, let's say you're picking something up and you feel like your left side's more weaker. It literally makes you weak. So you're losing power. So there's a trigger outside that makes you lose power. So if you were to look at that hoarding and then muscle test, you'd probably wipe yourself out. If you look at something very specific that was hoarded, and it would just wipe you out. So there's also this magnetic deficiency you have with
It's trash.
Yes, okay. But there's so this marker is in this life has to do with, it creates the anti-establishment, so you're a protester. So you have the archetype of the protester, yes, to stand up for the rights, but really you haven't learned how to stand up for your rights. So that's kind of like what you're doing. You can feel this unfairness. And I said, okay, so how do we want to take and create this? And they go, you got to stop doing this flippant thinking of worst case scenarios. And you can just feel how it just takes and gets on your nerves. So the question then is when you see that, how and where do you go with your thoughts? Do you create with your construction zone, or do you take and borrow the memory and then create with your construction zone? But I can feel how your body's
fascinating, because there's the hoarding out back and there's a construction zone out front.
Interesting. So it's
all environment.
Yeah, it is. And of course, your DNA does not change or create an expression without the outside stimulation. So sometimes if you closed your eyes and you tuned everything out, then your DNA can actually start to feel like it's calming down. Your stress levels can start feeling calming down. But you've bonded with trash. You've bonded with over-identifying with that matter, and you've created it so it has grievance to you. And again, this is how you felt when you were a child.
That's what had value in the house. Trash.
So 9 years old, what happened?
That was when my dad left. He moved out of state. And then that was in October, December, I think, that Christmas, he had an apartment. And then by the next summer, they were getting married. He married.
Okay. So wife. When that happened,
I hadn't turned 10, I almost 10. So yeah, that was
okay.
9.
So look at the idea of this. When you went to visit those places, did you have any of your belongings to make you feel safe, secure, or did you feel like you had anxiety because you didn't have your belongings?
Well, I mean, I had like my whatever was in my suitcase. Like,
okay, because when I came over here, I'm going to give her just a few minutes, folks, just so she can get this, and then we'll go on to the next person. When I moved from Australia, yes, that's whatever's in my suitcases, but it wasn't stuff I could see. And even though he had opened his home up and he says, all this is yours too. And I said, thank you. It was still, when you recognize to get that comfort zone, it's like when you wake up in the morning, you're like, where the hell am I? Oh, wait, that's my own bed. That's my wall. Oh, I'm okay. Okay. You didn't. So when that stuff finally arrived from the United States to here, it was like Christmas. It was old shit. It was my old shit. But man, did it ring a bell. Man, did I start to feel more at home here. Again, there was nothing wrong with the environment. It was beautiful. The person that I'm with is beautiful. Problem was, when you get displaced and there's nothing you can hang on to, really.
Right. I had my sister.
It'll feel very weird. Okay. Because children are meant to, you'll readjust. I know what it's like to be an adult when that happened. It's not just a new adventure. That's not it. It's just that, like, if you ever had all your stuff taken away and it's like, there's a loss. And the only thing that you could see and you could really identify and bond with was trash. And it's not even your shit. But you're so annoyed by it because you build this intolerance tube of hate. I will not tolerate that shit anymore. And so this becomes your reality. This is what creates, like, you seen me and my ex-husband. I had this intolerance tube there. No, not doing it anymore. I had to heal all of that pain that I had in that tube so that when he came in the room, he didn't strike me, and so when you witnessed how he just blah, 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 and he did it right in front of you. And I was like, I'm falling to pieces. I can't see it. And I know you saw it and you're just sitting there quietly. And I just asked, I said, I don't mean to bother, but what did you just see? And you said one word: gaslighting. It was like the most foreign concept word I have ever heard in my entire life. What? Me? How? What? But I knew in my soul that I had to crack that egg open and not let that happen again. That's what you're doing right now. This is your identity, is that, oh my God, it's this intolerance. This is that relationship, that annoyance, that hatred, but that's what it is. But that to which, if we were to ask, you would lose power, but you would also have an identity in it. And you're like, it's serving.
Right. And so the confusion is like, so then where does, like, romance now with what I had with this person, like, it's gone. And like,
yeah, right. And the thing is that you can't have certain bonds with certain people the way you want them because you have an old structure. So your old personality can't create a new reality. Your old structure cannot hold up the new structure you want to be. So you have to deconstruct that. And that's part of what it is. And right now, magnetically, you're just going to keep this love life pushed away because you need to break down the intolerance tube. And you need to stop these behavior of worst case scenarios and worry and fear. They said because the child in you had to suppress, and you had to diminish your light. And if you look at it, that's what part of a lot of your story is: people diminishing your light. Even when you try to reinvent yourself, it's about diminishing your light. And it's like you only know how to have a relationship if it is incompatible. So where would I tell you to go? I'd start with L3D and notice how I have no empathy for these people. I don't want it. Remember how sick I was of just can't do it anymore? And then you're going to go L1S because you're like, it doesn't matter. My love is unreceived. It doesn't matter how much effort I do. They can't hear me. And I would start with there. And then, like I said, begin to notice where your thoughts go when it starts to know you. Feel how that switch comes on and your body starts to vibrate. And now I can see how it wasn't an accident of why that thing was running and why I had to go through what I did, because you guys need to see. But some people lose their shit, and the tools help. So you don't have to. You can learn how to use them. And I know you're getting very much closer to the ideas is that, do I need to have this as my identity? And it's all about how you bond. Like I have this one person, they love this other person dearly, but as soon as they're together, they're destructive. And the awareness that came out was, what the hell? I even tried to control myself and this and that. And at the end of the night, there we go. That's our relationship. And I said, do you understand? You want a new relationship, but there's these triggers and things that you need to pull out. So I would begin there. Notice it has to do a lot with the habit and the thinking. And the judgment at this point is just how you as a kid never got to be heard, and you're feeling how you know it bothers you. Okay. Why did you choose her? Why did you choose that hoarding? Why do you choose that? You're not choosing love. Why are you choosing that? I'm love. I'm right here. Why aren't you choosing me? And that's what I hear you screaming. And so then you have to give up your expectations. So definitely hold L1S for that. Okay.
1S for expectation. Yeah.
All right. Now I do got to go. Oops. And I will talk to you later. And I know you got this because I can see the energy around you has shifted, and keep doing good work. Okay.
Hey, love you. Thank you.
I love you too. Bye. Okay. Let me get the link for the next person. And I need to go here. All right. Hello, screen. Where are you? All right. Now I got to find. Oh, you know what? All right. Well, look, I'm going to look for Melanie Long. And then after Melanie Long is Ashley. Now, you may have to message me so I can find your link. Like I'm looking for Melanie Long right now. And why isn't it coming up? How about if I do this? Oh, there she is. I think. Yes. That's bizarre. Oh, that was 2019. Please tell me I have the right Melanie. Oh, you know what? I should have asked Melanie. Did you want to come on or not? Do you have to get? No, you don't have to. You can just do voice. Can you just do voice? You don't even have to do that. We can do it just like this. Just ignore my request. I'm like, why can't I see? Well, put your glasses back on. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to set it for 8 minutes. Melanie, I'm not sure what that means. I'm assuming it's this way because I heard the word no, but do I feel? All right. Just like this is good, but out questioning. All right. So remember, there's a delay. If you got a question, ask now so that I can. Otherwise, Spirit will just jump in. Okay. Did I miss something somewhere? No, I did not. Okay, there. All right, so if there's, like I said, if you got one, I didn't know. Here's the problem. There's just me here. Is it eminent? Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna, since you wrote it, I'm hoping I can say it. So separated, divorce, eminent. Okay. Dating now, wanting an idea of soul connection and timeline. All right. So understand there's more than one timeline. I'm going to look at where you are, and we're going to see, is there anything that's going to stop you from dating? No. Is there anything that's going to, and they said there's, you don't want to call back in this particular readjustment thing. That is why so we're going to look at what and why the other one ended, because we don't need to bring that baggage over to this. And they said there is a certain amount of anxiety from, so all of a sudden I'm having a chemical peptide dump about certain actions. And so you're gun shy right now. And the gun shy is that you have to be kind to yourself until you get to a certain stage. So like when an incident happened, I couldn't just jump back into be doing and being who and what I was doing. My body would do this type of hesitation. Okay. And don't push it. Just as you start to adjust, and you start to learn to adapt instead of readjust, then all of a sudden you're going to get back into the swing of how the flow was supposed to be. Now, they said that the diminishing your light, the relationship energy was about diminishing your light. So the attraction factor when it comes to attracting in people to date and to love and all of this has everything to do with the conditionings and the attraction factor. And I said, tell me more. And they said, did you have injustice in your last relationship or when you were younger? Did you have overtime hopelessness in your last relationships? And helplessness. They said it's based on a certain arrested development that you ended up picking up, they said. So that means a choice as a child to see the conditioning and feel like that defines you. And they said about 3 years old. Now, I said this chemical peptide dump, was that directed at you? It was about how you know what incompatible relationships are, the feeling of, and you held on to that. That's how you define it, that incompatible feeling stage. And I said, give me more. And they said, well, you have to have like certain amount of confusion when it comes to with relationships. And that is because it's an epi thing. So that epi marker means someone in the family line, that's how they have relationships. So if you could kind of stand back and begin to notice what's the fighting relationship, what is the communication, what is the bonding style, and begin to know that maybe you have this fear of being bold. Now, I know you're meant to, I know you have been, but you haven't really get to be bold and to rise up from it. So you can do all you want to do, but there's always this root of a little bit of an impending fear. And as I'm looking, there's an ego. There's yours. It's the way that you're readjusted. Now it'll feel like you're cursed. It's not that you were. It feels like a curse. It's a limitation. It's a not able to move forward. It's part of that arrested development. Okay. And let's see. There's at one stage were you depressed at one stage. Why do I say that? Because they're pointing out this karmic imbalance. And that is when you're balanced, everything's good. But the moment you start to like do too much for them, or that you're like, oh, I was doing this kind, loving act, and now they expect it. And therefore you're like, but I don't want to do it, because you can feel how the energies are becoming uneven. This particular type of karmic imbalance is that like a certain emotion will be sent, and then you have to go into that behavior. You don't like that. You don't like that, but let me tell you, you bonded with that. You identified with that. So when you start to go out into this world and start dating, you have to begin to heal the uncertainty and this awkwardness, because those two actually move forward over here. When you are saying, oh my God, this is how I identified my reality, this is familiar to me, this is my identity, and then you start to boldly go where no man goes before, you're going out, you're going to misunderstand with the ego's intuition. Ego intuition will say, oh my God, yeah, this isn't working. This isn't going to happen. And you're like, oh, and without realizing it, you're going to start feeling the uncertainty and the awkward. And the ego is going to say it's because of this. And it's not true. It's a feeling. And what happens with that feeling is that because it's the unknown and it doesn't feel familiar, it doesn't feel like your identity, you won't go there. The emotions, all of a sudden you'll go back and you begin this revolution. Okay, so you keep going around like the Ferris wheel. They said you have to begin to see this. Now, when it comes to healing it out, they said when you're ready, you have to get over, I don't know what it is. There's something, the word, they got a word here, it says act mean. And I'm like, what? So I don't know if the relationship that they acted mean, or if that's what it ends up, the way that they're fighting, the way they're communicating. Now let's look at a love life type thing. And the point is that they said that you want passion. they said that you want true love. Now they're saying the wants. And then they said, but it's, if you want this passion and you want the true love, you have to begin to address about the forgiving and learning. And this has everything to do with the energies of that relationship you're ready to release. And when you learn how to surrender and release it, like taking a shit, you just and use a tool to get it out of the cell, unlock the cell so that you don't have to keep playing and vibrating that. Because the more you have hold on to those memories, those emotions, those feels, it actually stops you from taking that wisdom into the new relationships. And I says, well, what's the best way for her to heal? And they said, notice the way that you present your mannerisms, or you see mannerisms. There's something maybe to do with rapid mannerisms. There's some type of behavior your heart is saying, I don't really know if I want to go through this again. So I would say left wrist, first position, nice and deep. Okay. Because we got to look at how you're holding on to pain, because it's set as a GPS. Now, see, if I would have done eye accessing to pull it up, because you got like really strong, and I think your dominant eye, you have it held in the dominant eye. You need to take those pictures out, because that filter is just going to be in front of any and all relationships. And that's going to affect your relationship with yourself and who you will draw in. So let's say you decide to heal that, and you do. It says that you don't have to keep doing old patterns of keeping old relationships alive. You know, it says, give it another chance. You're like, no, I don't have to believe that story. So you're going to get stronger. And I said, tell me more. And they said, well, you are going to then learn how to forgive and take that wisdom and apply it. And when you do that, you're going to be able to flirt and actually enjoy that part of the process, so that you can bring in greater love. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let me look again at Ashley. Now I got to find Ashley. Ashley, talk to me. Okay, talk to me and let me know how you would like to do this. You can, I can send you a link so that you can just have voice only videos. Or you can do it just like I did with Melanie. Okay, so you can have the reading and done in 3 ways if you'd like. That's up to you. You choose which one. I see that you have a question here. We have had a lot of family loss over the past year. Do you sense anyone around me? I have also lost and miscarried. Do you sense that around me? My anxiety is always high and don't know the best move. Okay, so the best way to move forward, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, is to help you understand how to get your body to relax, how to get your body to get into rest and digest, and how to take that brain and take and balance it. Like I do source point healing. And so you can start getting some clarity so that you can begin to heal. The heart and being broken, there's another point called hope therapy you can use that will help the body to relax, okay? And so then all right, I don't want to lose that, but I also have to look at the screen so I can make sure I'm not losing there. No, I don't need that. Hold on, I'm trying to get to my screens and it's frozen. Did I freeze on you guys? I'm hoping it's not true. Oh, no, I got her. Okay, there we go. Just in the comments, please. Okay, yes. All right, no problem. No problem. Now let's go a little bit further. After that, I'm going to stop. After this, I will take what's going on here? All right. So Nikki, let me know if I can work with Lorraine and before you, just let me know if you're okay with that, Nikki, and then I will put you in between after this. Okay, so just let you know. So now I'm going to get back to Ashley. Whoa, my energy's just shifted. They're saying weight, W-E-I-G-H-T. They said that there's a kinesthetic feeling that it feels heavy. There feels like it's weight. A tonality. There's a certain tonality that somebody, no. Hold on, where are we going here? Because this is making questions. All these emotions, all of these emotions causes you to be timid, and it feels like weight. The tonality of some people when you're communicating with them just makes your heart want to just, wow, I can just feel this running back and forth. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to ask that your loved ones come forward. Please communicate with her through me. Okay, so now what I have, yes, all right, so there is, like you mentioned that there was a baby, and I'm going to tell you the fact is that I can see the energy of this, and it says no worries. All I can hear, I'm coming back. So what I hear is that you haven't been able to hear because there has been hysterical energy, and that has become a habit. The baby has not, I guess, did the baby cross over? Yes, the baby hasn't left your side. And the reason why is because of this emotion. I feel like you got a moment trapped in your mind, a picture of what you're holding on to. And it causes you to become very self-conscious. And when you think of self-conscious, people are like looking at you, feeling vulnerable. There's another way too. And I keep feeling the cycle. I got to shut down. I have to shut down. Let's see here. Let's see. The reason the family loss is happening is you got to understand is that you got anxiety from it. But I asked, why does your soul having to endure this? And it says that you're learning about the first chakra. You're learning about survival techniques. You're learning. So you are on a crash course of what it is to feel that you can adapt instead of readjust. You also, your soul had said, I needed to understand about something by losing it. So it's about where did my happiness go? And it's a parameter. It's like you never know that you need electricity until it's dark. You never know, how much you love something until it's lost. And this parameter stuff that you're doing is like, I'm done. Stop. It's an anxiety. I don't want to do it anymore. And you have, I really wish you could come on the show. Just put your hand on your forehead. That'll probably be the best way, unless I start to, you keep coming back, I will give you more. But I need you to just put your hand on your forehead. You're going to need to be able to help do this one, because the brain wants to have relief. And I can so see how I want to have you rub certain points to be able to get there. But they said right now, it's just effort and work. It's like, what are you talking about? It took me this much effort to get here. And I totally understand that. But now I'm watching a particular memory. It's just a particular memory. So who we have here is, it feels, okay, definitely male energy. And there's a cycle. What kind of cycle? A cycle of not knowing how to trust and not knowing who I am, because it's okay. You dislike having to learn this, go through this, be this, that it created a loathing feeling inside. And sometimes it'll be self-loathing and sometimes it'll be loathing. You can heal that out, but they said just understand that you, so I'm respecting that. And they says, You keep going into giving yourself limitations. Oh, I can't do this because, and they said that there's limitations, and they said, honey, it just has to do with a certain amount of insecurities, that you're off balance and you're petrified. But you've got a whole team of people here. There's something about a phobia, and because you know what it's like to be let down, there is a fear to be let down, the fear that you'll let down others. And this phobia happens apparently be an epimarker, which means, has anybody else in the family acted that way? So when you go to heal that, you can help your ancestry and your generational aspect. I'm looking at, it's so funny because I see the word intolerance. They're telling me that I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out, that it created an intolerance, that I don't want to figure it out. I do want to figure it out, but it's the intolerance, the soothing, the seething, that loathing. So these emotions are just blocking you. They are just blocking you. And that's anxiety. Okay. I want, okay. And I want you to do, if you can just get this concept, if you can just learn to do this, that's great. Learn how to measure. Oh, I feel it. I know it. This will help train your body to say, okay, calm it down. But I want you to try to do one more step for me. I want you to do, not try. I want you to do when you're ready. Don't force yourself, but when you're ready, okay? You'll take your left wrist under the thumb in that first position, and you're going to put your thumb right there, and you're going to push in, finger here, wrap these three. And you're going to make sure you touch like I got right here. See? Touch here, here, and here. And I want you to sit there, and I want you to allow yourself to be in your hells. Okay? I want you to feel. Now, if you like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and you go, I can't, and you're taking your hand down, or you can't hold the hells in your mind, you're like, ugh. It's because it's just that you're still in the process of, So if you could just notice that. Now, if you put it up here and you're like, oh my God, and you can keep your hand there and you're measuring it to, this is really bad. Understand your body is saying you're willing and ready to go and heal this down. It's a huge one, but it will work. It works. You just have to take your time. Now, if you wanted to get more places than that, you could go to my website, or I don't have it up anymore, medicinewomansolution.weebly.com. And you can learn EFT and do the full gamut one. The reason why I want you to do the full gamut one is because when you use your eyes in those directions, you're pulling out the stories. And EFT is emotional freedom technique, if you didn't know. And literally your body will begin to create what's called a disruption. So you're disrupting the code. You're disrupting the encoding that had been set in place. You are allowing yourself to just, okay, you're getting there. Let's see, I want to see what I can do. Okay. All right. And there's a lot you can do. I've been in states of loss, and not particularly yours, but I can understand to some degree. But the body is wanting to process the best it can. Okay. Okay. So what did we say here from Nikki? Yes, Ashley, absolutely. My biggest thing is, how do I allow for my babies to pass on? Let me tell you before I go any further, it is you helping you to give the body a way to process. And that's one of the big things that, see, you're tapping into the innate wisdom inside. You can be in hell. You're going to be all over the place. But when you tap, like I said, left wrist, first position deep, and you're doing this, you're able to sit in your hells as you're using a healing tool, and you're tapping into the innate wisdom. And because of the process of how it works in the brain, your frontal lobe creates reality, and 80% of the blood leaves your forebrain to go into fight, flight, freeze. When you do the combination, what happens is that your electromagnetic self brings the blood up so that you can focus on where you're, without knowing how you are focusing, you're focusing on your health. That's where your joy went. It disappeared. And you're looking to get to that joy again, but you can't get through the muck. So when you're holding this up and you learn to measure it and you begin to feel the difference, the clarity in your mind will begin to happen, and the body will start to calm down. And you're going to take all the cells in your body have receptors with keys in them. And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm going to vibrate this way. And then as the innate wisdom and you begin to work together, it's like it unlocks. Now, will it be permanent? Some cases it does. In some cases, you may have to visit how many different ways you thought, how many different ways you feel, but you can still heal it out of that pain. And when you move, like when my boyfriend died, I couldn't connect. But then later on, when I got older, my mother, immediately when she died, I saw her that night. But the communication process is my grief doesn't disconnect me, so I can't communicate. There's like, take rescue remedy, batch, whatever people want to call it. Take the rescue remedy. And I was just taking it all that night. And then all of a sudden she came to me and told me what she wanted. And it was like so relieving to know. It's so relieving to know. And you can build this relationship. You can have this wonderful relationship without really crying, because the body is learning how to process something that was so shocking. Oh, that's beautiful. Lorraine says, I have given my babies a funeral, write them letters to clear and heal. This is something that worked when I lost a baby. Love you. Okay, good. See, and then this is it. Talking to others is good. But remember, without a healing tool, especially up here, if you're not doing this, you're only wiring yourself to think and feel and stay in hell. The process of healing it out, tapping into that innate, is that you are telling your brain, yes, I'm going to think, but I don't have the fire and wire. I will break it down. Now, you don't have to know that process. You don't have to do that process. The body will do it for you. Okay. Okay. So Nikki, what did we say? I lost that. I will give you a few extra minutes, Nikki, if I'll be here the rest of the night. Okay, wonderful, sweetheart. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to Lorraine. So Lorraine had won that 15 minutes because she shared the video. And I can't remember if she loved or not. I do remember that she shared the video. Oh, awesome. Nikki will be able to come on too. Okay. Oh, Laura too. Okay, awesome. There, now I'm gonna find Lorraine. Not finding it the way I want it. What's that? I didn't know. Okay. Oops, I had it. No, I didn't. Hopefully you go by, there it is. Now I'm going to send you a link. Again, you don't have to use video. Voice would be great. I use Zoom. So let's see here. That's not even close to what I was looking for. My voice all of a sudden. Celebrated Father's Day here in Australia. I don't have any fathers, but my wonderful husband got to spend time with his son in the beautiful, well, they're not married yet, but guess what? She's just a daughter-in-law. That's just, so anyways, in my mind, she's already been there. She's put in the time, she's there. So anyways, we had a good time. No, we haven't got to the 1 minute yet. And see, this is the thing. I tried to break it up in segments, but regardless, if you can't stay, understand, if you definitely email me and I will give you your 1 minute and you'll get a timestamp. Okay, so so Lorraine, do you not, I mean, Usually when I give it free, I like to at least skip audio, but if that's not doable, well, I don't know where my screen went, but I sent you a link. Whew. Yes, I will do a 1 minute. No, I don't know. Hold on. Yeah, shoot. All right, not sure what's happening. Lorraine, let me know. I sent you a link and see what happens. So the first timestamp will go out to Crystal Allen. So for Crystal Allen, it is blame that. So somehow, I don't know, you, them, or other person, but it's something about blame that. So it's a blame that type of game, and it's the way people talk, and it's how love is used as a weapon. They said they want you to begin to just open up and notice how it causes a discouragement. Because it creates a discouragement, then all of a sudden it is a process of that discouraged that makes you want to run. So they said hold L2D because it has to do with feeling like it's an overbearing. And then, so I'll be right with you, Lorraine. And then that says that the lofty energy, you really got to feel how.
Hello.
All right, I'll be right with you, sweetheart. Okay. And so again, Angela Allen, who did I say no? God bless it. I forgot. But anyways, they said they really want you to go into that feeling. It's in the feeling that you have to heal. And they said hold L2D. Okay. Crystal Allen or Angela Allen? Which one did I say? Because I believe it was Crystal that I was reading. That's what I thought. So I don't know if Angela just popped in or not. All right. So get the microphone on and let's go and talk. Hi, dear.
Hi.
Okay. So you, my dear, won 15 minutes and we are going to honor just that. How can I help you?
Oh my goodness. Well, just whatever you feel, I guess. I'm honored, completely honored. So, and
Awesome.
I feel blessed to be on your show, ma'am.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so this gets to be really intense. So when you get a chance to sit down and get cozy, then what happens is that, all right, I don't understand, but you got two energies that are just swirling around you. One energy is about called accused and the other one's petrified. And I said, is these yours about how you feel? They go, no. Were you accused? And because the first word actually came up with suspicions. So have you had anybody or communication about suspicions going on? Any type of thinking, any type of...
I mean, like, I guess I always have like a little bit of anxiety underlyingly because of just like a secret awesome insecurity as a child, I guess, maybe, but I hold it really well, you know, I don't let anybody know.
Well, so what's interesting, it says, you know, like suspicion, it's like, see, that's funny because I was thinking something completely different, but knowing how you know is the trick to how you can actually begin to heal. Knowing how you know is actually created a lofty energy that's like you're bullying yourself without realizing it.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm a mom of two babies, and I didn't necessarily want to be a single mother, but I'm a single mother. That has been a big of a weight lately on my heart, but I'm healing and forgiving that big time, like right now in my life, and I'm doing pretty good with it. But as a mother, we criticize ourselves, so I feel it's normal also.
Well, you can heal a lot of that, what you feel normalcy out, actually, because we don't have to really be in that space. Now, when we look at suspicion, it's having or showing a caution of distrust of something or someone. Now, it's also causing to have an idea or impression that someone or someone is questionable, dishonest, or dangerous. So they really want to say that you have felt suspicious as when you look out at people, and I keep feeling like men energy altogether, because it feels like a weight, a very heaviness. I don't even know if you're doing it. You're knowing that you already have this filters. I can't trust you. What's the point?
Yes.
Okay.
My father, he committed suicide when I was 3. I was like 4, almost 4. And then after that, I mean, he was my best friend. And I always honor men. I advocate for men, but I've done a lot of emotional work through that whole, the male stuff. And I'm very masculine as a woman. I'm a warrior kind of woman. And so, you know, it's hard for me sometimes. And then I've been totally abused with the whole mistrust thing with my past relationships, I think. So it makes for a very brew of who could I trust for a mate, maybe. And I'm a little scared for sure. Yeah.
All right. So as I'm breaking through this code, so it's interesting how your energies have actually linked together like chain link, or not even a chain link fence. It reminds you of a necklace, the way you're hooking it together.
Sorry, my daughter came in with her slippers on.
Okay.
I love it, Ruby. I'm hearing you. Okay, you go ahead.
Okay, so you have identified with relationships.
Yeah, I'm gonna hear her.
Love unreceived. Is love unreceived? Okay, so you know how that this relationship you have is there's going to be love unreceived. So part of the strategy of having relationships is like, yep, this is the way it's going to be. But then another part of you will step back and go, why can't they just love me? Why can't I love them? Why can't they just love me? As we go deeper, your soul is showing me that there's this, about 2 years old, it felt, and I feel, and this could be your father, I could feel how you felt around the house. It was like a curse. It's like, oops, if I do this, something's going to go off. Oops, if I do that. So there's something, because I'm watching your little feet trying to figure out where to put your feet. And as I'm doing this, so did you, when you were growing up, did you
It
feel?
was probably my mom.
Okay.
And I've been working on cutting that cord here with my own son because I feel myself doing that to my kid.
Okay.
And we have hearing issues. Okay. So it's hard for me to hear. And I feel vibration.
Do you feel, can you measure this feeling that's going on right now with you? Just measure. Yeah. Is it a 10? All right. How about working with me just for a moment? And I want you to, you're going to end up taking your hand. Okay. You're going to take your hand and you're going to go down, and right there, you're going to do both sides on the bunion part of your foot, but you're going to be doing palm and then the back. I need you to do that. I need you to do that on your feet. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the second thing?
Just taking the palm and then the back of your hand, palm and the back of your hand. That's all you have to do. You know, I mean, that's on your feet. That's what you're doing. Now that spot, and that spot, I now need you to rub that spot.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. So now your brain should start beginning to feel a little bit better. And then you're going to go right here on the left side only. Grab your left side only. It's that point right there.
Okay.
And I need you to rub.
I feel that.
Okay, now notice you have it here, but bring it up to the fatty part right there.
Okay.
Up, there you go. Now what's happening is that okay, now you so what happens when you think? You can go to the, there it is. I can't help but to go there. I get stuck on a word. I get stuck on a word. And then it's not even a word, because there's the feeling, and you can feel it. And you can notice the thing you don't want to do. It's actually a vibration. It's very heavy. And see, now your brain feels a little bit better, but now I'm going to have you take, and where do you want her to hold? Okay. Now you're going to take, and you're going to take the left hand, first position. Put your thumb there, nice and soft. So you're going to have it aimed at you. Okay. All right. And now go like this. And what I want you to do is I want you to sit there and I want you to feel that feeling that, oh my gosh, this is with my son. This is da. I want you to feel that. It's a sensation. Can you feel it? And it's like, oh, get it off. That's where I want. There you go. You need to measure that for me. You need to tell me whether or not that feels heavy or light.
It feels easier.
Okay, now just stay there and keep thinking and feeling. Thinking and feeling. Because this is where your body's going to work on the hells. Remove, transcend, and let it go. Just keep thinking and feeling. We're going to uncreate and destroy all that times a gazillion, right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond. Keep thinking and feeling. They said, now notice this feeling. For something that you have, it's like something to be said or done, and then you have to do something out of sympathy. You can feel how your body starts to do an automatic reaction that you have to do this. Can you see it or feel it?
Yes.
And if you don't, there can be some malevolency energy, and it's vibrating to the point where you're ready to jump and run. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it is fight or flight feelings, like so bad. I feel so bad, and I just go, it's my voice only, but it's so vibrational hate of my own self because of my mom, like going off on the wrong vibrational things when we're just kids.
Exactly. Remove, transcend, and let it go. Look at the story, measure the story, look at it, look at how you know. Give me a number being high.
I'm at like a 6.
Remove, transcend, and let it go. I want you to look through your left eye as you're holding that point. Look through just your left eye, that whole story. Look at that left, through that left eye, the whole story. What number is it now?
A 4.
Remove, transcend, and let it go. Oh, how about looking over through the other eye? The whole story through the other eye. And notice that you have a hard time being confident when the sympathy comes off and you have that malevolency that could follow. And what number is it there in that other eye?
It's like a 5.
Oh, so let's take this and start to say, I'm going to take my energy off it, remove, transcend, let it go. I'm going to uncreate and destory all that times a gazillion, right, wrong, good, bad, pod, pock, all nine shorts, broken down. And notice when you go, I want you to look straight down and I want you to measure. Is there anything there?
I feel joy.
Now, what's interesting is noticing the words. Do you know what sour graping is?
No.
All right, keep your hand there. Keep your hand there. I will explain it in just a second. Sometimes we have to learn, when we start doing this healing process, we have to learn about flippant talking, flippant thinking, flippant being. And one thing that causes the sour graping, it's an attitude. Okay, they say, it's you mean that they say something is worthless or undesirable because they can't have it for themselves. So they will create a negative attitude. Okay. Let's see, I'm gonna get you an example. Remember, they can't attain it to themselves, so they have to talk, oh, that's stupid to have that, or you have certain, you got very specific words I hear, it triggers you.
I'm
Okay,
too
so
sensitive, I'm too loud.
Say it again.
I'm too sensitive, I'm too loud.
Ah, yeah, okay, so, okay. And so people's behaviors is will pretend that something that they can't have has no value or interest. Okay, so like, let's say you failed something, you say, well, I never wanted it anyway. So let's say you wanted to go to college and then you failed exam. I never wanted it anyway. Okay, so it's the way that you self-soothe. Oh,
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Now notice that your joy is high, tucked away in hell. Okay, that means the only way you can get joy is you have to go through hell. I want you to take.
I'm so sorry to laugh.
Yeah, I want you to dismantle this thing you have around joy, because we are hardwired for joy, not suffering, and we don't need it in this fashion. So begin to stare at it, remove, transcend, and let it go. Now I want you to look through the left eye and beginning to notice that, oh, do I have to soothe myself? Like that. Do I have to hear other people do that? Remove, transcend, and let it go. I want you to really feel that just for a moment. Who would I be without it? And when I hear other people say it, do I have to be hurt by it? Because I know it's now just a program to help people heal. It's a coping tool. It may not be a pretty one, but do I need to let it be a trigger? Remove, transcend, and let it go. As you look through one of your eyes, tell me the feeling we started with, anything there.
Yeah, like clouds clearing, you know?
Okay, so what's left? What's left? What's left? It's learned helplessness. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because they said it has to do with the fact is that if you wanted something, you'd have to go through and make yourself less than and go through, jump through these hoops in order to get that goal. And you're like, but I don't, I'm done readjusting. I'm done selling myself short. I'm going to remove, transcend, and let it go. And I'm going to start to notice that thing I hate, to give yourself a chance to look at it. And you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And just remove, transcend, let it go. Switch eyes and notice how you felt it. The question is, does it feel the same at all? Good, bad, or indifferent?
It feels better.
Good. Begin to notice that when you're with people, they have what's called an energy pull. They will literally pull, pull, pull. And that's the thing you hate. That's the thing, because you can feel like your life force is sucked out of you and you're like, but I don't want to go there. It's okay. Keep your hand there and just allow yourself to go in. All right, I don't have to give up my dreams. I don't have to do this. I don't have to take offense. I'm done. What if I held my power and they did this shit and I'm just like, okay, that's you.
That's been me like last week only, like literally just what's been on my mind so much.
Okay, so we're going to make sure we just take our hand out of the fire, but we don't need to put it back in. They can communicate with you at you being you. You don't have to transform yourself at all to be friends with anybody, to love anybody. You can bond with them different. Feel that shift. Whoa. On a scale from 0 to 10, how do you feel now?
I had a huge feeling from my left side all the way through my right, and it was a tingle.
Good. Okay, you can take your hand down. And is there any feeling anymore of that nature sitting there?
No, just like I can't wait to play with my son.
Good. And when the next time when your son comes in and do all this, if there's anything, you have to ask yourself, do I really need to think these thoughts? Do I really need to behave this way? Because it's such an auto response. You may not even know you're doing it.
No.
And you can break it and you can start catching yourself and do turnaround times. And there's a lot you can do.
You're such an earth angel, you know?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, we will talk to you later. And you go take care of yourself and go love your family and love yourself. And then when you feel those creepy thoughts, say, no, I've healed this. I've done this. I've empowered. I know I can do this again. And even if it's just putting your hand up or doing the same thing we just did, you do not have to, you can learn how to break that habit. You don't have to keep going there. You're going to say, no, I'm catching it. And then this is what happens. You'll start to awaken and the awareness will start to lift. Okay. It'll make a difference to yourself. All right. You go take care of yourself and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Yes, Mama. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that was good. That was great. She did awesome. You can learn to empower yourself. We get so caught up in these chemical peptides that just bash us in our head, and we really feel like there's no way out. And there is. You know, why did we do the first part? We did the first part so that your brain would start to come to balance, so that she could really get into the grasp of healing the next part out. So that to me was very important, that she got to do that. Now I'm going to go find Miss Nikki. And then we'll go here. Whoops. Well, that ain't gonna work. All right, we'll go there. Got it. Okay, and then after that, Thor, if you wanted to, we could. That's up to you, sweetheart. We'll get there. We will get there. And she usually clicks on quite fast. We'll see. Patricia, oh, no, never mind. We're going to wait on Patricia because she told you she's fast. She's like, wee. So I'm now on TikTok, and I'm going to, anybody that's done TikTok, let me know. Have you guys know when they do the, like, I can do 1 hour lives, then I can do them back to back. Do they save or do they erase? I'm just curious if anybody knows. Nikki, sweetheart, can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you.
Hey.
That was so intense, but in a good way. It was
good. You guys could relate to that.
Very much.
Yeah, I won't be able to read the comments until afterwards because it's so small. But yes, and she did so well. You know, and I love the fact she, you know, some people say, is it fake or real? But they hardly ever ask because you guys can feel the emotion. You can feel the shifts. Right. And I know you're really learning. You're in the tribe and you're learning. And I know you're beginning to catch it even faster. So
very much. This week has been great.
And
very, very great.
I know on TikTok that you can have, I don't know when the status moves up, but you can have people come on and, or what is it, guesting? No, that's not it. Duets. I'm curious about that. We may have to do that. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. And thank you so much for keep bringing people with me. Me and my husband are figuring out a way to give back to those that have actually, you know, when people actually said, hey, you know, like Nikki has sent me, and they follow through. So however your sales technique is, or however it is, wow, good job and thank you.
You know what? I'm just linking up with people who are ready.
Good job. Yes. Oh, wow. So you're part of that contract. Yeah, good job. All right. How can I help you, my dear?
Whatever pops up.
Okay. Okay, here we go again. To be. Oh, to be. They're really put. Okay. To be, fill in the blank. And then it said resentment. To be resentment. Not resentful, but resentment. And then I'm like, they're very specific that when you get into that resentment, so what happens is that your cells says, hey, we need to be resentment. And that means you got to vibrate out in and out of being as resentment. And so then the information's that I know that looks like a bad thing. Just don't laugh. But it's like a key. I literally need a key. Then it won't look so gross. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm picking up somebody's thoughts. Anyways, the cell has receptors, and the male and female, the key goes into the keyhole of the door, and all of a sudden you start to vibrate to be resentment. When I say that, not resentful, but to be resentment, what do you hear?
I don't know.
See, and then they're asking you to look at your life a little differently now, because you're not just the byproduct of it anymore. You're beginning to wake up and go, hold on. And you thought the last one was intense. I want you to feel how you know that feeling. And once you start to recognize that feeling, you'll be able to zero right in on where it is vibrating. And they said to be resentment. And it's like they meant to put you in a state of confusion. And I mean they, meaning you, meaning the circumstances of how you're supposed to learn this. And I said, well, what do you mean by confusion? And that is part of how you taught yourself to readjust about where to go, how to do things. Okay, we're going to talk about this in a relationship form, because they said, my ego takes over. I go there, and then all of a sudden I have to be made to feel like shit, and then I sabotage it because of a filter. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not sure why I'm grabbing the cards, but let me find out. So, all right, what are you chasing that? What are you doing with that? Okay, so the card is called Honeymoon Effect, or the honeymoon. It's enjoying the bliss of the holiday time together. And you have a picture. You have this end goal that, oh, this is what love is. This is what it is. And it vibrates and it's sitting there. So then it becomes like when an addict, the only way to explain it is when an addict is ready for their next fix, they will start to try to chase it down to get it. And then the thing is when they get it, it's not the same. Well, now I've got to up it up and do something harder to get that feeling that I had. And it's a memory. This is that feeling. The feeling when anybody that's in a form of an addiction is the one thing is always seems to be common. Oh, everything's okay. It's a great big hug. That moment is just perfect. Complete calmness, all of this safety, security, stability, sanity, serenity, space, and serene just are like, now it may only last a split second, but it's, it, and you will go after it, and because you want it. But the pain that says to you that you have to have it needs to be addressed, because it's stopping you from really engaging into having it. So I'm going to ask Spirit, as you know what the bliss of a relationship is, there's a part of you that says, I'm chasing this. I had it once, I want it again, I don't know how to get it. And so does this make sense so far?
Yes, very much.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask Spirit, is she allowed, is she ready to hear why the addiction of this, what was causing her to do it? And they said, have you ever been humiliated in your life?
Yes.
And the humiliation is like you never got over. And so it turns into a resentment. And now you can go back and whoever you dated just recently, whatever, that's going to be your fresh experience. Did you feel like there was humiliation, or you were never going to let that happen again type thing? And so then out comes this, nope, not going to do this piece of shit thing. Do you understand? Did the warrior come out?
Yes.
Okay. This is what's called, you were stuck in a loop. Okay. So you will have a filter that will be right in your face. Okay. And it may not be anything at all that they're doing. This, again, you got to hear me, because like my husband and I'm standing in the kitchen, and all of a sudden he said something. I swear to God, he said it that way. And I said something back, and all of a sudden he goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. Is there a filter on? And I'm like, and see, my last husband would just pull shit on me. And then he would take my own teachings and just rub them in my face to say, that don't work. But with my husband here, and all of a sudden I could really see that I was placing what I knew onto the same situation right then, based on a trigger. And I had to step back, and I healed it out. And I said, no, I'd like to see him for him. So there seems to be a humiliation, or I don't want this, or I've got to save myself. You're trying to figure out right now, you're doing what's called dating therapy. It sounds stupid, but like the reason like doing this show, when you got guys, and I already know I can see you as a healer, but when you start stepping up to be healers and you start to do that, it's actually therapy for you. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Ooh, somebody said something's caught my attention. Old narcissistic, new learning, abs that love and learn you. Okay. So yes. Okay. So it is that way we talk. It's the way that we communicate. It's the way we do things. So if you can identify just a little bit more about that, and see, this is why I feel like you're on your own vision quest now. Mm-hmm. The reason it can be a vision quest and it could be a life quest, but it's a quest. And this spiritual investigation that you're just going to be able to step back, and I think you and need to do a really good communication process. Mm-hmm. But really say thank you, Spirit. Please include this. Thank you, Spirit, with grace and ease. And I want to know about this, what Brenda speaks about. And they said, where did my happy go? So you want happiness. You want this. You've said this. But without realizing it, you get really close to wanting it. And all of a sudden, the thing that interrupted the happiness in the first place is like setting a strategy. And your soul says, well, we'll keep bringing it up so she'll heal it. And I says, can you be more specific to what she needs to heal? And he says, well, first of all, what did she do? What kind of limitations, the self-imposed limitations? Oh, ain't going to happen again. Oh, I can't do that. that came in place when humiliation came in. Like the self-limiting belief was that I was a kid and we grew up on the Brady Bunch, and it was, you don't copycat. And my sisters would always just get so angry, and I'm thinking, so when I was 30 something and I wanted to do something else, and I was told I couldn't be in this group, I says, fine. And then I heard this woman talk about how her daughter's doing something, and Spirit says, listen to what you just said. I can't copy. I really want it. I can feel like I'm supposed to go there, but I can't copy. And I was 2 years old all over again. Okay. All over again. And then Spirit says, you can heal that. And then, so I healed that. And then the next time I talked to her, she goes, oh my God, my daughter was looking for somebody to go with. She doesn't want to go alone. I was like, what? And it was like, oof. But can you feel that limitation?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So they're saying that you've kind of already rehearsed a couple times in your head about this humiliation. Do you know which one they're referring to when you were little?
Yeah. Well, so we were like really poor, and I don't know, we always like, I don't know, I guess we're like the kids with the issues,
Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, what? Yeah. I was considered white trash.
Yeah.
We had no money and all
Yeah.
this other stuff. And somehow you're like zeroed out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like experiences like that, like having lice and having to sit in the front of the classroom and everyone staring at you,
Yes. That self-conscious. Right there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Can you feel that?
Yes.
Okay. Now it's
Mhm.
controlling a big chunk of you, because I just went like on my right side, went down into my right hip, and then went down to my right leg. And it says, this is where your body just wants to run. Okay. But you can't, because you are like set as an example, or you have to be separated. They said that humiliation. I said, can we just heal humiliation? They said, not yet. Did people tattle? And that created a form of humiliation?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, like when I was
Well, like now that I'm older, like
yeah,
people like to gossip, and
same thing.
create
It's
a story like for me, and I have to defend myself, or
right. And well, here's the thing, like sometimes people use this as a weapon. Oh, like I had smoked when I was younger, and then I never hid it from my mother-in-law. But the woman come in and she's like, well, I'm gonna tattle. Pretty much that's what she said. And you wait, they're not gonna like you, they're gonna like me more. And I'm like, what the hell is this jealousy game? And she was waiting and she was waiting, and then she humiliated me with her clever little words. But I wasn't really giving her that humiliation, because I had already told Mom. I already had told her. I'm thinking, why should what my habit is to be anything, but in their mind, it's that we have high standards and you just don't do that. And then to find out that they used to do it, and you're like, so there's a different way of communicating. So again, you have people say shit, twist it to get favor. And you're like, I don't want to play this.
I just had an experience like that actually.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so now they said you're going to be doing what's called healing backwards.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why you have to heal backwards is because when you start to break it down, then you can break down the habit and not have to take and live it again. And they said that you're ready. L3S would be the first thing I would tell you to do, because it's about grudges. Now, either you hold a grudge or you'll attract somebody that has a grudge and they want to do this shit to you. But somehow this whole thing creates filters so that when you go out to get love, you can't see it or receive it. And that's where it kind of like feels like a curse, but it's not. It's one of those self-imposed curses we do because we can't unlock that emotion from that experience, which is what you're going to be doing. So you're going to start off with that little L3S, because that controls your will. This is the bladder meridian, okay? And you have to also notice the feeling of feeling like your moral character has been diminished. You're like, ain't gonna happen again. There's this. Same point, L3S. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And when you start to really address the humiliation, understand it's locked into sour graping.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to break that down. Look those words up and kind of catch when you do it. So this is where you turn and you say, thank you, Spirit, for helping me catch when I'm doing it, so I don't have to go there. So please forgive yourself when you think about it and you're like, oh my God, I did that 20 minutes ago or 2 days ago. Oh, you can heal after the fact. You've got the evidence. Sit your hells and get it out. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. And thank you,
Bye.
my dear.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Yes, tomorrow we're going to have, we're going to learn about archetypes. And one of them is called the pimp in the hole. And there's ghetto physics. And so that's what we're going to have in tribal tomorrow. And I said I was going to air it for you, so because you can't seem to find it. And it's an eye opener, and it actually shows you how you lose power, of not knowing. And then it shows you how the relationship occurs and breaks it down even further with other archetypes to the point of how to get yourself out of it. So there is a resolution at the end. And then if you apply the tools that we have, you really do it again. Okay, let me check the screen. I don't see any more. I don't think that I saw Thor. I don't know if Thor's here or not, but let me know what you want to do. I'm going to go and start taking care of some of these 1 minutes real quick. Oh, hold on. Right here. Okay. I'm not even sure what that means, Miranda. Oh, Donna Marie, you're new? All right, well, okay, thank you, Thor, I appreciate that. Okay, so Donna Marie, Rain says, wow, I'm so hungry now and I'm out of pain. Excellent. Oh, excellent, excellent. Okay, so first we're gonna take, like I said, the new ones get 2, so we're gonna go to Donna Marie real quick. Wow, oh, this thing just blasted in front of me. It's like it blew up and it said accused. Accused. And somehow you know what it's like when other people get accused. And it's like you got caught up in somebody's drama. It's like they're telling a really good story and you're like, oh yeah. To the point you can pull up your own data and share your stories, which is not a problem. But the thing is they're saying that it's stirred up so much now. I don't want this to happen to me, because that's your reaction from someone's story, not necessarily always having to be with you. And so it's linked to taken for granted. I'm not sure, which direction that is. And then there's gulled. Now this gull, the gull of it all. It's like, oh my God, no, no. Then everything stops. And then all of a sudden I feel like your path kind of switched. And I says, oh, wait a minute, can we tell what age this was? And they said, well, there's something about 22 years old or 2 years old. I don't know. They keep going over 2. And then, but I see this path switching, which means your life that as you know it is not going to be what it is. It's going to like turn itself around, or it's going to slide off. That means people players and stuff like this are being jobs, all that had changed. And they said something about that because you didn't understand how spirit works, all of a sudden you were silently brooding. And the part of your body, and it's so weird because it's like the lower half only that's running from. And I said, what are you running from? It says, my importance of me. It's like, I was like expanding my importance of myself. It's like, this is important, I'm important. And you had somebody that was a narcissist or something that came in and began to treat you and make you feel like shit. And it's like you thought that you did wrong, and so you shut it down. Okay. All right. So we're going to go back over here. Open up that screen. Who was I just reading? It was for Donna Marie. Okay. So now we're going to go over to Patricia Hinson. Okay. When I look, it says, my intention. There's a fear. There's a fear of actually stepping up and saying, this is my intention, because it's like, if I voice what I want to voice, it's going to be taken, and there's a fear that that something bad's going to happen. You're going to be blamed, or you're going to be too prideful. Oh, I need it's whatever the backlash of some of these words are. And so you don't even get there. You just immediately stop to readjust. Oh, good, she's here, Patricia. Okay, so immediately have to readjust, and you'll know, because all of a sudden you start hitting overwhelm before anything else is done. This filter just slaps you across the face. And there's a petrifiedness, and so you're locked in this little time frame of your existence. You can't. How do I get over that? You've tried. You've done. Okay, so if you can kind of catch what I'm talking about, they said it's time. It's time. L1D. It's time. L1D, because you have to look at how you know that. At the same time, is it true your heart's going to be crushed because you've grown and you've learned that I don't have to, but that little part of you says yes you do, and just get in there and tap into that feeling. Okay, tap into that feeling. All right, we're going to go over to April Lynn. April Lynn, hiding behind. You're starting to notice that when people hide behind certain things, a mask, you start getting very passive. And then when you start to respond, they will be a respond. And it's like, then they give you disapproval. And it's like, I don't really know this engagement process. And there was, when you were learning social skills, there was something about 3 years old, and the energy that was thrown at you because somebody else was hurt, you contracted your energy, and you've been very timid about really how to communicate. So as soon as you show up, and then all of a sudden you're checking, your body goes into this reaction, and then you're like, I'll try this, and the little dance. So you're ready to start working on that petrifiedness, R3D, right wrist, third position deep. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. Nancy Burke. Nancy Burke, here we go. Now, hold on, what am I doing? Spirit says, hold on, what am I doing? I hear an echo going on, and there's this blaming. There's this blaming, and there's this petrifiedness, and there's this accusation, and there's actually this continued flow of story. And I said, there's something muddled thinking going on. Yes. And they said, because it's about my career, it's about my life, it's about not knowing what to do next. And then it has to do with that relationship with that part of my life. I don't know how to redefine it. I feel like it needs to be redefined. And just, this is where I would tell you, just say, thank you, Spirit, showing me something that's about this, showing me about my, if I'm supposed to shift careers, or I'm supposed to do a career, show me what it is I can do. Give me the excitement and the motivation. And then they said that you're ready to heal out some petrified as well. So they also say in R3D, okay. And you're so used to giving up expectations that you'll cause yourself to do a procrastination. So a little L1S. Now I'm going to ask, have I ever read Mary Vanagan? And have I read her in the beginning? I feel like I've just switched over 3 timelines, and I feel like it's a whole other day. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, was I supposed to read her? Did I read her? Did I screw up? What's going on? And so they're trying to get my attention, which means those that are listening, did I talk to her? What did happen? Where am I at? Why am I here? Why is this occurring? I feel like, I don't know if I read her. I don't know if I read her. I don't know if I'm supposed to read her. If that makes any sense. Oh, Donna Marie says, thank you so much for the reading. February 22nd, that's the 222, is my Granny Gwendolyn's, 2008 and granddad's anniversary in February. Wow. Okay, there's what they were looking for. No, I don't think so. I'm a return 1 minute. Okay. All right. So it keeps grabbing my attention, and I'm not sure who's grabbing it and what's happening. So my question then is your purpose. You want to talk about your purpose? Okay, is that what it is? Okay, that's big, great. Yeah, we have you come on board. That's awesome. All right, so I'm going to get back to my 1 minute. I'm so confused. I'm still confused. No, I'm picking up somebody's confusion. All right, you know what? We normally don't cut. We normally don't cut in line, but I'm going to do this, and then you're going. Then you can leave me. Okay, so somebody on the side is yes. You're fully aware that somebody's here. They just want. Oops. You're not. Get off it. Did you have somebody ever annoy you? Yeah, I believe it is your uncle. He's very persistent. He was trying to give you an extra minute. He was trying to push here. He was creating a confusion. And he says there's an intolerance. She's doing intolerance. There's a certain intolerance. Well, that's okay. No problem. There's a certain intolerance. He says, worry, stop it. Just stop it. And what's happening is actually causing you to feel like you're hitting a brick wall. And it goes up and down, up and down. He says, help her take care of that. I said, okay, so we'll take a look at your nerves. And we'll notice that the nerves are being bullied, and they're telling me that if she can, okay, so Mary, you're going to end up doing our right wrist, first or second position, deep. And there's a particular part of panic that I want to do something, but I can't. What am I supposed to do in my purses, but I can't. And the nervousness causes, oh, he died, okay. But he's trying to say, it's okay. He says, but it's the lofty energy. It's these persistence of these thoughts. You got to understand, I will. Okay, for a lot of you, I want you to understand, when people die, our ego mindset wants to find an answer. Our ego mindset wants to fix it. We want to change it out here. But he's very persistent. He says, look, this was part of my contract to die this way. He says, I understand this. He says, and I want you guys to live now because you're waking up, and we need to get you to focus on, I will. So do you know how planets evolve around the sun? That issue, you don't have to keep evolving around it. And that issue does not always have to be the drama. It's not something. Okay, he's trying to say this something here. She says, not okay. I don't want his death to pass in vain. Now, he's telling you his opinion. Let's say it didn't have to happen. Okay, so then when we're going to ask, so no one can. Okay, so you have the passion and conviction. Okay, you understand why she's doing. Okay, I can't. He wants you to know that if you could just run the energy in your body, you would have more clarity of the direction, the purpose, and how to take action. Now, I will not go against her will, and neither will you. But I want you to take and notice. All right. Wow, he's so desperate. This one. All right, what you're going to do. He wants the energy to move through so that you can have clarity, so that you can think, so you can feel, so that you can get to that purpose without having the panic and the fear to driver. Gotcha. Could you just stand there so I don't throw my head? Just do it. I don't know if you've watched me long enough to know, but this is what we're going to do. There's several things I need you to do. The first thing is you're going to have to get the body under control so that you can hit that stage. So the first thing that you want is, this is what I call slow coaching. So we're going to do the right side, right here. Give it 30 times. Now I'm going to go quickly because I've got to move on, but the 30 times, you're going to rub there 30 times. And then still on the same on the right side, that you will go up to the back, right in the middle. And you're going to rub that 30 times. Right side only. And then you're going to go down to your feet, right side only, and you're going to rub right there 30 times. Okay. And then they said that you're going to do both. This is both sides of your body. And they want you to go down and follow the inside part of your leg, your big toe, behind the ankle bone, right behind it, directly behind it is where you need to rub 30 times, both sides. And then you're going to go to the gallbladder area, both sides. And that is on the outside of the foot. Follow the pinky or the fourth toe up until you get to there's the ankle bone. You come in that direction and then you rub it there. Okay. Then, is that it? And then I want you to do me a favor. If you do that, then you're going to come back on. You're going to tell me if you feel any different and see what happens. Okay, we'll go that route. All right, so let's go to the 1 minute for Lena, Miss Lena. Hiding, depressed. I have to. Oh, it's just up and down, up and down. There's just a certain sadness, and there's just certain erratic behavior. Okay, same thing. We're going to have you to hold just the left side. The first thing you're going to do is the left side. Do you need to use a magnet? Please tell me. No. Left side, right only. You do that part of your foot for you, Lena. Left side only. Rub that 30 times. Then you're going to go to right side only now. And you're going to go to the bladder point, which is halfway, the pinky toe, so outside of the leg. Go halfway right there. You're going to rub that 30 times. And then notice that the passive feeling has to, you're just like, measure that and hold R1S. And just feel it until it just dissipates. And then we'll go from there. You're going to go to Kelly, Miss Kelly Hansen. Okay, Miss Kelly. Kelly, really weird place I'm at. Well, it might be the substance. I don't know. There's an addiction to behavior. So I said, what kind of behavior? What kind of thing? They said, well, this behavior has to do with action. It has to do with lack of control and feeling irrelevant. Take those three and begin to notice that there's a behavior that comes out of it. And they said, thank you, Spirit, for showing that it's like a button. It's like, whoop, it's like an installed button, and it makes you behave, and you're addicted to this certain behavior. So that means you got to go to talk to certain people to get that feeling. And that feeling is not always so good. And the thing is you have to keep proving to yourself that love is unreceived. Here, I'm going to do this. Love is unreceived. Here, I'm going to do this. Love is unreceived. So L1D. Okay, left wrist, first position, deep. You got to define the behavior, get into the behavior, L1D, and who would you be without it? And when you're sitting in that going, holy shit, I want you to really start getting epiphanies and lifting the veil for yourself. Okay, so Crystal Allen. Wait, did I do Crystal Allen already? I think I did. I think I need to do Crystal. Who's my other Crystal? Or is it no? Angela Allen. Oh, you two. Oh, that's funny. Angela Allen. Okay, yes. So Angela Allen. Angela Allen, Hudson Allen. Diminished. Something's diminished. Something's diminished and feeling small. And it's all has to do with being let down. And there's just this, I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop. So there's a rehashing going on. And they said, well, it's about relationships. It's about my relationship. It's about something. And I feel split about something because, okay, so now they're showing me a certain amount of guilt feeling in a communication process. And it's like, you may be doing it, you may be hearing it, but they're saying, do you need that? Because you're starting to notice when something happens, there seems to be a lack of power. You're waking up and you're going, but I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And they said, if you start holding L2D, that left wrist, second position, deep, you measure it, you will start to break that component of guilt or however it is used, and that lack of that whole type of behavior, and you'll start to break the habit. That's what they want you to do. Okay, that's what they want you to do. Let's take the next person. No, it's not too late for any type of reading. If you're new, you look new. I take new people right away. You get 2 minutes. I still have a list here, but I will go to that. But I also have, we have Sharon Gordon that's paid for a reading. Thor, jump in anytime if you want it. So, and good. And Sharon is in tribal, so she just paid for another thing. And we will do a reading. So Sharon, did you want to come on, darling? How did you want to do that? Let me know. Until I can get find out where Sharon is and what's going on. Okay, Thor, awesome. All right, we're gonna go to the 2 minutes, right? Linda Willis, Tossel's. I'm just gonna call you Linda Willis. Here we go. Ready? 2 minutes. I held my breath. I know my body just went, and I went into nothingness, meaning there was a space of a disconnect, a space. And then you had to go into the next stumbling action of being, what are you doing? Readjusting. And you're readjusting because the diminished feeling, there's a diminished incompatibility. It's diminished. Go look at the word diminished. They're pointing that out. And there's a word of this in this behavior, and it is this irrelevancy. So as you start to have this behavior start to unfold, it says there seems to be a lot of guilt and emotionally repressed stress. And it's like it taps into a button, and it's like as soon as this starts to happen, your energy field goes in and just sits there, and you're like, I can't do this. And so your body pulls back. There's a learned helplessness. When I asked Spirit, I said, so what do you mean by learned helplessness? And they said, in this case, it had to do with, as I begin to expand myself, I begin to incorporate to feel like shit, to pull me back. And then I get really hysterical because it's like, why does that always have to happen? Like, why can't I just be me? And they're saying that this whole behavior comes from when you felt this instability. We have 6 S's, and stability starts to become very insecure emotionally. And they said it's because it's part of the story. And I said, well, tell me more. And they said it's the reaction one they want you to look at. And it's like it boils down to distrust. I'm not sure how to have this relationship. And they said that you're ready to start to, and even if you don't know anything else, you keep coming back. I will know that you're ready to get more healing. Is that like touch here, put your hand just like this, and just start to, if that makes sense to you, put it on the scale from 0 to 10, 10 being, oh God, how I know it. Oh my God. And I want you to hold your hand there. And it's a little longer process, but it works. And I want you to sit in that hell of yours and just measure it to 10 being the worst, and just sit there. And what will happen is it will go down. It'll go down. And when you start to go down, you'll start to measure and go, wait a minute, I know it. I'm getting more clarity. It's not as strong, and I can measure it. It's like a 7, and keep stay there until you feel like it's 0. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow. Okay. Before I go into talking to Sharon, did you try this? Did you try it? Mary, did you try because I see that you popped up, re-energized. Oh, it has, okay, whoops, I gotta go back further. Oh, don't I? Where in that? I see all these beautiful things, cool. So are you feeling any better, Mary, whatever, lost myself. It has resting eyes can finally close to rest peaceful slumber again. Ooh, love it. Feeling energized. 19 different, wow, okay. Got to get you back to your healing self, sweetheart. taking my holistic mind. Okay. All right. Yeah, your uncle did good here. Okay. All right. Good. And seeing that's the thing is that when you go to address the issue, I don't want you to overthink it. I just want you to do a 2-minute now. Because you're not quite ready to take that next step to heal the hells, but you aren't ready for that next step of a 2-minute. And that 2-minute is what you do is you set the timer for 2 minutes and you just sit quietly. Now, whenever you feel like you're ready to do that, you don't have to do it now. But if you understand that calm space and just sit there and think nothing and then kind of record what pops up and then write it down. But don't run with it. I want you to, like, if it says, oh God, I'm sick of this, I'm sick of it. And then just let it go. Listen to the next thing. The injustice, and write it down and then let it go. And then within that 2 minutes, you're going to start seeing where your emotions, your life force is invested in these particular words and particular things that create the behavior, which creates the personality, and then it creates the focus. But if you can go in and begin to do that, and then you say, oh my gosh, yes, I can see this. It's a 10. You can slowly just put your hand here and measure. You just keep it there and focus on one at a time until you start noticing. You need to know that you can heal yourself. You can talk to your innate wisdom. You can make a major difference in your life. Do you understand? You can do this. Okay. You can do this. And you just allow yourself to get the clarity first. Okay. And all right. So your uncle was very persistent, and normally I don't allow this, but it was like Spirit said, people said that they could learn from this. So I thank you. I thank you for being vulnerable and allowing us to communicate and helping you to get some sort of relief. And just remember, you can be empowered to get back to joy, and that's what we're hardwired for. And we can start to remove these dramas, and you can get there. Okay. Okay. So now I lost the screen. Oh, did we ever get hold of Sharon or not? I don't think so. Namaste. Huh? All right, so I'm not sure what if I'm gonna find out where she's at, if that's we'll go that route. In the meantime, I'm gonna go over to Teresa. Miss Teresa. Miss Teresa Perkins. Oops. Miss TP, there's something? Okay, you're looking at life a little differently. It says, I can hear when I accuse. Because I just kind of, oh shit, it's like almost the same tone as when I hear them accuse. You're starting to see the part of the mirror when you get really close. Because you're saying, I don't know if I like that anymore. And I said, really? Okay, good. And I says, how do you want to heal? And they says, we have some vivid recalls about that life. Okay, the kaleidoscope of perspectives, that vividness of I have to accuse others. I have to is a way to get your voice back. Oh, because that's the way it's playing out. You ready to heal that? Yes. Okay, so R2D, because you're like, I have to accuse because I feel like I'm being attacked. So I have to, this is the communication relationship. I have to. So R2D for Miss Teresa P. Okay. Okay. Now I only give one message, or I give one reading at a time, and I got 2 shows I do a week. And unless you pay, then you can get longer. Ooh, let me get here. Either is fine. You coming on, or just read on show. Okay. That's fine. Just understand he loves you, but he wants you to have life instead of being sick. He wants you to live and thrive, and just instead of exist and being stuck. He loves you, and I think he has a lot to do with why you were meant to be here. And here's interesting. You say, I know my sister's here because you just said, gracias mi amor, Benita. And here's the thing. My sister's name is Benita. So isn't that interesting? Beautiful. Okay, so we want to add on for Vintage Babe. Okay, we can do that, I believe. Breathe. Gotcha. Breathe. Done it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go to Crystal with a K. Miss Crystal with a K. When I'm, oh. Wow, it's like my right ear. It's like I heard criticism, the difference between feedback and criticism. It's like you're starting to really different, hold on. It's like it caught your attention. With criticism, you can hear it's like an order. They want you to behave a certain way. Whereas feedback is they want you to grow and be good for you. Whereas this one is something else here. They're saying, keep looking, you're getting it, you're getting it. It's like one creates impending doom, the other one gives you life. They're saying that before you knew the difference, this would make you become numb, that criticism with an intention to hurt versus feedback. And you're beginning to notice what caused the anxiety when you're little, and you are ready to begin to release that resonance of that criticism. And they said R1S, right wrist, first position, soft. Crystal with the K. And then we have done. Oh, Jasmine. Hey, Jasmine. Miss Jasmine knows where they are. Okay. All right, my dear. Pride. I don't know what. They're just having me have my head thing. You're looking at how, oh, now I'm going right into a weird, strange thing. Loftiness. When somebody, so what kind of type of pride? Pride in what they're doing. It's like they don't want their feelings. Okay, so this must really be a person that you're looking at that is an ego, that it's better to be right than kind. This ego has to look at this part of you that says, and you're starting to realize that it's about control. It's about, I think you're starting almost like, I don't want to work on that. I don't even want to give you my power anymore. Before it was controlled by worry, and then you would behave a certain way. And you're starting to pull back and saying, I'm beginning to trust me to know when that's happening and I don't have to fall for it. And your spirit says, go a little deeper, and how R3D, because you're going to start seeing how people are jealous of you and they see you as a threat. Okay, they see you as a threat, and it is very much you're ready. So again, right wrist, third position, deep for Miss Jasmine. Okay, let's see. Got done. Miranda, Miss Miranda. Oops, Miss Miranda. There's a hiding behind. And Miranda, I'm going to stop for saying, yes, it started about 2 hours ago. I am wearing, I'm going to address Sharon Gordon. Yes, I believe if you're hearing me, this is your right video. And if you do, and if this is correct, you can type in the room and I'll send you a cord. Miranda, you're looking at something in very much a certain direction. I'm watching your body sit here, and you're sitting down going like this, going, and at the same time, then I see the perky little face looking over and going, oh. And I don't think your head and your body are really communicating per se. So the communication process happened all the time. And I said, well, what's going on? And the body says, oh. So I said, it's something you ate that's disagreeing. Oh, I have to readjust. The body says, I have to readjust because, and they said there's some type of an hysterical energy. So whatever the thing is that you cooked, there was a story to it. Go look for the story. They said the biggest one was when you're 7 years old, and it has a story. Pay attention, because your body's like, oh, yeah, it's different than here. Because you're like, yeah, whatever, and your body's going, oh. And I says, well, what are you supposed to do without it? R3D, because There was something to do with jealousy involved. There you are, Miss Gordon. Okay, now that we know that, we got the right one. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to say Miss Gordon, Sharon. Yep, that looks like her. It's been a while since, yes. There we go. Okay, I'm sending you a link. Now we're going to take Amber Patrick, Miss Amber Patrick. What I see here is that there is behind, what, behind her? Behind, are you being left behind? What about me? What about me? And you are really beginning to notice, it's like everybody's here and there's like this barrier between there. And it's just like, then it's like you take action and you're trying to figure out how to be heard. And that you've been really masculine lately, and they said that it's like you have to jump through hoops. So there's a lot of dogma bullshit, same shit, different day. And they said just begin to notice that, yeah, I'm addicted to this overtime hopelessness. Holy shit. And when you start to see this, then you can say, hold on, why? It's in the questioning, why? They want you to contemplate enough that all of a sudden you'll start to go in and you're like, wait, what? No. They said, when you're ready, you can stop saying, oh my God, this is what's happening. And you're getting ready to reject that. Here we go again. Step back and say, oh shit, I don't need that. Ask the why. And when you do this and you start to begin to ask the why, they said that you're ready. You're ready to start to learn how to self-soothe. And then that would be R3S. Okay. Okay. It looks like, okay, so I'm going to give, I think Sharon's got it. Anyways, I'm going to give Thor her 1 minute. Miss Thor. Okay. Wow. These two separate lines, but the pendulum is saying emotionally unworthy, emotionally unworthy. And I'm like, what? And this is what makes me have to force myself to take action. I wouldn't have to have this happen, but I feel emotionally unworthy. I said, so you want her to address what she knows about feeling emotionally unworthy? Yes, because she's been so strong, but it's part of what creates this, discouragement, this timid, this part of her. And she really hates that feeling. And so there's and they said, you're ready to start addressing that. So it's R2D, right wrist, second position, nice and deep. And you're ready. You're ready. You just have to hear that particular part of, you know what? I don't want to be taken for granted anymore. And it was like, that was part of the story. It's like, all right. Because you have built yourself up to be in this certain space. And now you're starting to realize that there's fear. And I think it's because you had that loss recently that it's making you address something a little different, just a little different. Oh, thank you so much for sharing the lives into groups and things that really, your name will go into a treasure chest, because when you share, you get this into a treasure chest for a chance to win a 15-minute free reading with me. Those of all that's paid, that for the full 8 minutes gets your name into another treasure chest for 30 minutes with me off air for free. Okay. And so all these spot on as always. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I know Sharon has gotten a new, I know that she's gotten a new setup with her computer. So hopefully we can get her in the right link. So I've sent it in 2 places. She hasn't seen it in one, but she should see it in the other. Now, anybody in the room that I've missed, whether you're new, you get 2 minutes, whether you come back and having these wonderful loyalties to yourself and showing me this connection that we have, you know, if you're here, get your 1 minute. Oops. My chair is caught. All right. Get to the right screen. Yeah, so that's wonderful. Mark. Okay, yes. All right, so Mark Davis, and you're petrified. Now you got to understand, you're being about 3 years old, and the bottom part of your body is like, I have to readjust. Oh, you're here. But not. I've been working, not sure. Okay, so here's the thing, is that you had to learn to make yourself irrelevant. So there's this fear, and somehow this fear, oh, my head's spinning. Somehow this fear feels like it's dominant, it's real, and that's all there is. And you don't know what to believe. And I'm saying, okay, so help him find clarity for his path. And they said, okay, they want you to do L3D, left wrist, first position, or third position, nice and deep. They said, there's too much stories, there's too much. And so you get hooked in and you get hooked in, and it's like a drug. And we're asking to help you get the clarity you're looking for. Okay, so they're saying L3, or yeah, left wrist, third position deep. So you know what it feels like to feel small. That's the other piece of the clue for you. Oh, my body's like going, oh my God. Well, I've been holding space for you, Mark. I know you can get through whatever it is you got to get through to get where you're going. If that, oops, well, Brenda, what'd you do? If that makes any sense. Okay. Oh, let's breathe, let's breathe, let's breathe. Okay. Now, again, I don't think I've missed anybody. Sharon, we're waiting for her to come in. And do I have to? Okay, she hasn't seen either one. Normally she likes to come on. Oh, Thor, sweetie, I didn't even notice. Oh, you did. Well, I didn't see it. Oh, I am so sorry. Where's this at? Oh, maybe it didn't come through yet, because Vintage Babe. Yes, I need to give her, let's see, no. Yes, so 3 minutes for Vintage Babe. Vintage Babe. Okay, Vintage Babe. Ready? Vintage Babe. I can't behave. I'm going to have to behave. There's a sigh, and then it goes right into accused. Now, when you feel this energy that makes you do things, and then you settle for the fact, fine. And they're telling me that somehow the accusing, you have to start catching it, because it causes you to readjust. And it causes you to go into the sympathetic mode. That's not a good thing. In a stress, you either have sympathetic or parasympathetic. Sympathetic is what's happening with you. You go right into stress, and then all of a sudden the breathing doesn't get to be balanced. They said they want you to, there's several ways you can do this. You can start to vibrate here, do a little singing. You want to flip the vagus nerve, or you can let out all the breath. Now, when you hold your breath, you don't suck air back in, but you're supposed to take this muscle here and pull it up. So you go, and you'll know, because you've let all the air out. And when you pulled your muscle and you didn't suck air back in, what happens is do that about 3 times and hold your breath as long as you can. It flips it to go into a relaxing stage. Okay, Tammy? And they said that the other thing they want you to do is take the coping tools. So like when you're laying down at night, and for some reason your body does something right when you're about ready to fall asleep. And they said, if you could just, even if you want like this, whatever, this, just kind of like fall asleep with it. They said, whatever time of night you're doing, no matter what time you go to bed, there's something interfering. So this will help. But go to the jet lag or the sleep issues or whichever circadian rhythms, I don't even know what I got it called anymore. And then they want you to notice that spleen, SP3, and you'll see the picture. So I'll be right with you. Hi, hon, I'll be right with you. So SP3 is right there on the side of the foot, and you have to look at the chart. Look at the chart, because it says what you have going on for you is a confusion of your meridians. And if you can tap those two between SP3, and that's your spleen, it's 9 to 11 a.m. and 9 to 11 p.m. And the other one is the triple warmer. And that will be 1, 2, start at the bend, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you rub that, okay? So you rub that. And you rub the SP3, which is right there at the bunions. Do both sides of the body. Do that during the time between 9 and 11 a.m. or 9 and 11 p.m. and your body will start to readjust. Hi, darling. How are you?
Hi. I said on Smokey, but we're okay. He died for
Hey, I'm so glad you got it fixed. Now we can see each other. Awesome. All right. How can I help, darling?
Hi. I was wondering what the spirit would want me to know for today, or what I need to work on.
Okay. Now, what's interesting is that not sure why this has anything to do with it. Tim Harris. But give me a moment. So I don't understand. His presence of him is right there. Tim
Okay.
Harris. So knowing that name, they saying that you've been working on yourself with other healers. Okay, so Tim. Okay, so you have
Tim
been. So yes.
Yeah, Tim and Elizabeth.
Yep. Okay, yep. Can remember her name, but she has, so his energy is very strong. Now, as you've been working on self, then they said, here's the interesting part, is that, have you been working on being more bold?
Yeah.
Okay. And then they said, now see, he's stepping back. Now they said, what, in order to be bold, you need to know where your happy went. So I'm going to help you find that so you can do the next part. So where did your happy go? And they said, well, you know, when the word coercing, it's that forcing.
Uh-huh.
You have a lot with people. People will like push you and force you into doing things that you're maybe not willing or ready for, or you need it as a motivator. Because my mother, when she wanted me to do something, she pushed me and coerced me, and all of a sudden, fine, and I would do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did my happy go? I was happy, then that forcing occurred, and it's like it just went. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You have to notice that part of how to be bold is you have your strategy. Here's the thing, I want to be bold, but I can't be bold if I have to have this forcing. And so then you do a procrastination. So you kind of flip back on yourself and say, and then 2 hours later, 2 days later, you're like, Karen, what are you doing just sitting here crocheting or whatever you're doing? You know, you're like, eh. Okay, you catch yourself. And then you think about the homework. Oh. Now, does Tim cause you to be accountable? Like when you talk to him and all of a sudden, you know, why haven't you done this? Why?
Yeah, he does, but
Okay. Now what happens is that it's that the reason you can't be bold is that there's that you got a couple things going on, because I'm watching it weave in and out. Okay. There's a certain amount of you have to curse yourself as part of the process to wake yourself up. Okay, kitty cat, you are smoking. Behave yourself. But anyways, you have to act a certain way. And so this strategy is making it so you can't go anywhere. So you're going to have to step back. And you are going to have to address the fact that you are petrified that you're going to have to face the coercing in order to get to your joy. You have done really well of not having people do that to you. You've had relationships in the past where they really coerced you. And you hid your happiness, because it's like the moment you see the happiness, they did what to it?
killed it.
Exactly. They wanted it to be gone so they could be happy. So you're kind of I want to be bold. So you're going to end up holding L1D when you're done, because when you sit there, you're going to start noticing, oh shit, love is unreceived. My love is unreceived. And I don't know if I can even receive my love, because when my love was given, it was abused. So do you see how it's kind of like folding back? It's like, it's my love was causing me to have pain. So now you can't even allow yourself to have love even for yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're taught, Smokey, be a good boy.
Okay.
Yeah,
What?
be a good boy. Have empathy for mama, because mama doesn't have empathy for herself, which is part of what she has to learn. You have to understand that, so an empath will feel what other people are feeling. And when you begin to have empathy for self, you have to understand, I'm going to do it, self-compassion, respect. So you're going to learn how to observe yourself and experience yourself in a different way. But you got to first suspend judgment that you have toward yourself. You're like, nope, I have to stop judging myself. I have to catch when I'm judging myself. Okay. Because when you start to have self-compassion and is extending compassion to yourself, you're going to start feeling like maybe you feel inadequacy or failure. Okay. Or general suffering. So we have to get you to get out of that state of ill and into allowing yourself to have this. They're saying that you got to stop putting yourself as the object. So you're going to be doing L3D later as well. Now, see, I'm going to watch you sit back and mull it over and look at it, and mull it over and look at it. Spirit says you have to understand that's part of how you get your joys. You have to go into, so you're doing a strategy. And this is where you just take the time and observe. Oh, just caught that I was judging myself. Oh, and I'm pretty nasty at it because I called myself a bitch. And then you go over here and you're like, oh, I just beat myself up for, oh God, why am I doing self-abuse? You're going to start noticing it and asking the questions. Why? Who would I be without it? When you start to get there, all of a sudden you're going to say, God bless it, I took the blame. They made me take the blame because of that coercing, but I'm taking the blame so that the pain would stop. I want my happiness back. Okay, I'm going to stop taking the blame. I'm going to step up and say, okay, I'm going to take responsibility, which means you stand up without judging. You stand up and you say, wait a minute. Oh, there's that feeling. Can heal that shit out. So the first part of feeling inadequate would be our 3D, because you stand back in a jealousy way. So when you start to step up, that identity of your jealousy doesn't get to be seen. So then you sabotage yourself back. So our 3D, okay?
Okay.
And then then they said, okay, you know how you have this lofty, you know what lofty feels? It's that, okay, that towering figure. Do you still got one at work?
No, lots of them at work.
Yeah. You got to look and say, write down the list and say, I have designated you to do that to me. I need you to do that to me because I need to rehearse this thing that happened to me at 33. And at that moment at 33, it felt like life was a curse. Now you're holding on to a particular lofty way that something happened to you at 33. Does that make sense?
Not sure what it is at the moment.
Okay, but it has to do with relationships. And it has to do with, I can't behave a certain way because I'm going to get coerced. And what's that?
I can't be myself around others.
Exactly. And that's what it boils right down to. It boils right down to that. So you have to reject yourself out of your own reality because you're holding on to these people. So you're going to focus on how that feels. Oh, these people. Okay. So then you're going to you're holding on to that. L2S, left wrist, second position soft. Okay. And then you're going to go over to that yearning that I just wish they would stop, or whatever word you use. And then you're going to hold R1D. Okay.
Okay.
And then you're going to notice the feeling of how you need to readjust. It's kind of like how you slap yourself to sleep. It's a self-imposing curse. And
Nice.
it's a when you know, it's like, hey, I feel awkward. Whoop, there we go. No, you got to learn to take the curse off yourself. And they said make that an R2D. Okay. And that's quite a bit. That's good.
Okay.
You asked because your
did.
happiness is hiding behind all of that. And like I said, in order for you to be doing that homework with Tim and to be becoming this beautiful, bold, beautiful woman, you got to go get your pieces, but you can't just call your pieces back. You got to notice the little things of the curse. Oh, I put this shit in the way, and here's a bear trap, that one over here. I got a mouse trap over this toe, and you got all these things that are going to set you off so that you really are actually causing yourself to have pain before you can get there. So you're like, oh, hell with it. But yet your mind's going, oh yeah, we're going for it.
Yeah, I feel like 3 different people sometimes.
Yes, because, you know, so again, take your time, heal what we've given you, and begin to notice that when you start to heal the, and you're in your hell, when you feel like it's down to 0, say, where the hell's my happy? Where's it at? Where's it at? And pretend like you're looking for yourself. Follow a cord from you. Notice the color of the cord. It might be a wisp of a gold or silver, and you're going to find yourself and you're going to go, where are you at, Sharon? Where's my happiness? Focus on Sharon's happiness. And all of a sudden, you're going to find it, and you'll start to magnetically bring yourself to you. Okay? Now, don't scare yourself off. If you're not ready to do that part, that's fine. Heal the other shit. And when you're ready, you can even just put your hand up to look for your silver wisp and call yourself home.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You can do that. All right. Thank you. And I'm so glad you're in Tribe again. So tomorrow, I don't know if you're working or not, but we're going to be having a movie. So just to let you know, it's about the pimp in the hall. You're going to learn how these archetypes control you. It's a little ghetto physics. It's really good.
I'll have to try to find it. What time is that?
Tomorrow, well, I'll send you the information, but tomorrow it's always the same time, same day. And if you happen to be in the tribal chat, then you'll see when I put the link up. I can't remember what time you are right now. I know you're in Michigan, but I don't really know the time. But anyway.
It's 12:20.
Okay, see, I always have them start the class. What do I start it at? 10 or 11 kids? 10, I think, here. Oh, we'll figure it out. I'll send it to you again.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk to you later, hon. I'm so happy you came on. Good to see you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Yeah, and go tickle Smokey.
Yeah. Night night.
Yes. All right, soothing then. All right, bye-bye, hon.
Bye. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay, so now Thor. Oh, I probably should look at the room. Anybody else? Ooh, I got some good stuff to read later. Excellent, excellent. Miss Thor, I feel, where are you? That's what I've been feeling. I've been feeling you're here and you're not here. And I think we'll be able to see a little bit more what that means. I'm sorry about the confusion because it's always about timing, but at the same time, it's like, I don't think I ever seen the thing come through that you said you paid. So it's like these little tiny reminders help me to remember. And then get the right screen. And you know what? I should have went to the bathroom. Doggone it. Yeah. So see, and I'm not even seeing that. A shield usually takes it 2 seconds. You know what? Y'all just gonna wait a second. I'll be back. Oh, good, I beat her. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so, Oh, there she is. Won't my mama be so proud of me? So I don't know why that song's coming in my head. I am definitely going to be reading these comments because it looks like we have some talk and action, and it'll be exciting when I get a chance to read it. Yes. There. Here she comes. Yes. There she is. There she is. Hi, hon. Hello. Hello. So.
Oh, I need to turn you down on the other one.
There she is. There
Okay.
she is. Hi, hon.
Give me 1 minute.
Hello. So.
Oh,
I'm getting used to hearing my voice.
you got it. I think I got it now. Okay.
Okay.
We're good.
So you've had, interestingly enough, you've lost
again.
somebody. You lost me?
No, I hear you in the background, but I thought I made it quiet. Is it your?
Hello. No, you'll have to find the little volume button for Facebook.
Well, I thought I did. Okay, give me a second. Volume is all the way down on that one. Are you sure it's not you?
I only hear feedback from you because these are all down.
That's weird. I can hear you in the background. What is it? Because this one's showing it's totally down.
Yeah, because there's that delay.
Uh-huh.
That is going to, okay, so there's an echo. As I'm thinking about this, you look for that. So the clue is she can hear delays, and she can hear me, or she's hearing it twice. She's hearing the same person twice. She's hearing delays. So as we start to look at this clue, if this is it, so be it. So where do we go from here? And Spirit said, notice that there's an indifference. And going right through the arrested development. Where do I go from here? Where do I go from here? So as you're finding this echo.
I can't find it. It's
All
crazy.
right. It's all right. So down at the bottom, you sure you don't have more than one Facebook open?
No, I have,
Okay.
no.
Is there a mute tab on Facebook?
There is, and it's
Click.
the one that I see the delayed on, and it's all the way down. And then there's the one where you got to have the
Okay.
screen.
How about just closing it all together and see what happens? The Zoom shouldn't disappear.
Okay, keep talking.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Are you-
It's gone. Although I don't know if I can get you big again. I can only see you. Let me see. Exit, minimize video. Ah, there we
Hi.
go. Okay. All right, let's try this for real. Now, the reason I did this, I mean, you gave me a reading and you told me, was it R2D? I just wrote it down. It was R2D, emotional unworthiness. And I'm going, what? So I think we have some digging to do.
I think that's probably why we heard the echo, why we hearing this twice, why there's stuff going on. And I said, all right, now again, you just lost somebody. How were you affected? How were you deeply affected by it, or were you affected by it?
No, no, I hadn't seen her in years since we were kids, but I've seen her grow up and her kids grow up on Facebook. And my perception of death now is so much different. I know her dad's helping her. I mean, it was sad that we lost him in April, her dad, and then we lost her. Well, my mom said in car wreck. She goes, no, she was walking and she got hit by a car. I'm like, okay, we played the telephone game because she said she was in a car. She got in a car wreck and died. That's what she said. But she meant to tell me she got hit by a car.
Okay, so there's miscommunication and misinformation. All right, and then misinterpretation too. So we have all these different angles. And again, there's a part of you that feels that something is going to be taken from you.
There's a little bit of fear there. I mean, because I have to hit this thing full force, and I keep having people tell me, don't say anything, don't do this, don't do that, and take everything off your Facebook so people can't see. But the thing is, I'm educating people at the same time, and I have to do it full force, or if I don't win this 110%, I'm done. I'm going back to waitressing or training horses. and I know force is behind me. I know he is, but there's always that doubt.
All
and
right.
I'm sure.
Okay, so what we're going to do is that we're going to just pull even further. Okay, and what that means, I'm not going to channel the way I normally channel. I'm going to grab something very specific. Now, I'm going to look at the inside of you just so you understand. Ooh, you're at a threshold.
Yeah, a big one.
And the male side is that you're learning how to do universal healing. So these two are playing out in a very significant yin-yang particular story. If I were to ask Spirit, give me a little bit more, they're telling me, no. All right, that's fine. Oh, that's right. It is first of the month. I need to go do that on my tribe. Well, maybe tomorrow when you go to watch the video, you'll see maybe a little bit more of the archetypes that might help.
Okay.
But they're going to pull for you. And here we go. This one, not that one, but this one. Okay, so it's in reverse. It's called the Akashic Library and number 2, but it's in reverse. And I don't know if that matters. Yes, it does. Okay, in reverse, it is the stair. Okay, well, I'm gonna see if I can get it up here. There's a stairway. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
With this card reverse, the stairway leads further and further downward. Although you may feel you're in a state of confusion, it is time to go deeper. The books of your Akashic knowledge may have been toppled, but they are always in reach. You have stepped away from the psychic guidance from your inner sage. So we need to connect to your inner sage. Hold on. Is she connecting to her inner sage? No. Does she have permission to? Okay, so tap and say, make sure you tap on both sides. I give myself permission to connect to my inner sage. I give myself permission to connect to my inner sage. Okay, good. Let's do this again. Oh, my brain. That's recalibrating. Now my spleen. Yeah, hold on. I'm watching my head. I'm watching my spleen. I'm like, ooh, okay. All right. Your body's like going, perhaps there's been a disruption in your life, or maybe just a distraction. In either event, it's time to cast a new light on your past and on your inner discovery. Seek now to tap into your power, which is what we're going to do by going through in the records, which is what they say it's okay to do now. And that's what I was going to start with, but they just wanted to make sure we're clarified a little bit deeper. We're going to look for this particular record that they want, this particular record where it is. This fear, and they're showing me abuse, this fear of abuse. So they are doing abuse to you. Okay, so if you really look at it, they are doing this abuse to you. Yes?
Who's they?
The woman that's coming after you.
What is abuse? I mean, I
Is she using her will against you? Is
well,
she trying to harm you, defame you against you?
yeah.
Is there something other than being in a line? So in this way, she's abusing her power. She's forcing her will upon you. In this record, as I'm looking at this record, there's a lot to do with you developed over time. Now I'm watching you just kind of like over time. These are called past lifetimes. They're showing me that you've just become indifference. You're like, yeah, whatever. I've got this, whatever. And at the same time, you don't know how to really trust. I says, who? People? No, don't really know how to trust because it's the emotions that make it so you can't really move forward. Now I'm asking, is there any particular emotion? And they said something about, God damn it, I know that they're going to try to force me to live their way and I really don't want to do it anymore. Does that make sense?
It does, but you know, it's so funny, Brenda. Right now, I am so chill. People are texting me, are you okay? Are you okay? And I am so freaking chill. And I'm like, there's a little tiny part of me, but I'm like, we're doing this 110 or not at all. And I'm
right.
That's
okay.
crazy.
Now, that little part it says that it's running. And we don't want this loop. We want to break this loop.
I want to get rid of it.
So what I need you to do is I need you to feel that little bit of pending doom, the pending that we have to go through this anticipation that hasn't finished. It's still there. Grab your L1D. And notice how you don't want. Just focus on whatever the hell it is. I don't want. Get it nice and high. I don't want. Just go in there.
It's in my
Feel it?
gut. Yep, it's in my
Gut.
gut.
And it's just that I don't want to do this again. I don't want to have to fight this hard. I don't want her to repeat this. I don't. And just look at it. It's all it's saying. It's all it's doing. It's like, I don't.
Yep, that sucks.
Oh, no, it's like, I've got the strength and I don't have to have jelly legs. But, oh, come on. And you're like, how many fucking times do I have to do this? How many more times do I have to be bold? How many? Oh. And you feel depleted. Now I'm going to ask, because there's a particular timeline. There's a past life timeline about 5 timelines back that's just said you need to call me home. So I'm just going to ask you to call yourself home. Call that soul piece from there and just pull it in. Just say, I'm just ready to bring. And this particular part of you that you're going to call yourself back has everything to do with your innocence. It's like people are just going to push this button. We're just going to call back your innocence, where I could be joy, careful, carefree, and just be me. Now, as you start to pull this back, notice that you get very conscientious. And you get very, it's like you want this joy, you want this stuff, you can do it, but what do you hear?
It's calm. My tummy quit rolling and it's calm.
Okay, good. All right, now let's take your hand down just for a moment. You have to rise. You are in the same position I was back in January. And that is, now that you're in this stage, you rise above. You go over their head. You don't play their game. I know what that feels like. And at the same time, you are trusting Spirit to take care of you. And yes, I'm proud of you for not listening to people that have gone through horror and they're looking at it from their lens, because when they tell you, it can really be a shocker, because if you're not paying attention, you could go there so easy, but you're not. And I feel like you have to finish this last piece, because that closure, you know what, I just need it this time. Done. Now, the thinking, well, we don't need you to want to go into sour graping. Well, I didn't want it anyway. But at the same time, what if you're meant to change this path? Now, when I rose up out of behaviors other people said, or personalities that said, you have to do it this way. You have to become an alpha bitch. You got to do this. You got to do that. And yours is different, because yours is about, you're being defamed. Point blank, they got their feelings hurt. They got and they're pulling up. And so that tells me that you know what a narcissist is like. You know when some people go to the extreme of just being so loud and squeaky. And you've watched how you've lost battles before. And everybody's getting their way. To stand here and rise, even if it looks like what you want falls, you know what the beauty of you and me are? We can reinvent ourselves, and we don't have to go back to the bullshit. I said, well, what am I supposed to do if this is the case? Spirit says, you just reinvent yourself, because you're meant to grow. And this is like, as Spirit told me, to be that Leo, to be that leader. I don't know, I've never been here before, but I know I don't want to do it that way. I don't want to do it that way. I'm looking for the third option. So you just call in Spirit. You just say, show me how to do this. And every day, tackle the bullshit that comes in. You don't have to fall for it. And just say, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And they said, there's one other thing you can do, and it's the end game, which is the knowing you got this. And it's just to feel that it's done. It's good. Now, when your brain wants to go into, oh, that is where you need to come back. And they said you don't do it often, but your body is known as a habitual fear because this is all of the stuff. You're like, all I've ever done was reinvent myself in this life because of the death, because of this, and the divorce. Oh, and they said, but understand, don't see it as hell.
I don't think I
Okay,
do.
those are false realities. Those kept them away from April. April, you can't go there. But now you're getting past that and you're starting to find more of you and your purpose. You may think it's dogs, but it might be something so much more bigger you could ever imagine. It could incorporate it again, just in another way. It could be, but I don't think so. I think
It's just going to go big. It's going to go big. I'm going to get people to ground themselves and to notice their energy and have that better relationship with their animals. And it's going to make people aware.
Good.
I know that's where it's going to go. And now it may open up a school. I need help. I can't do it by myself.
Okay. All right. Right there. It's believing that I can't. Okay. Now I also been there. But let me tell you what that means. It means that I'm learning that independence. And then once I start to understand the facets of it, and I always kept incorporating spirit to do it, then people had to move out of my way. Other people moved in and the answers were just dropping because they're in the line now. Okay. I started off doing the accounting for the business, the secretary for business, all of these, everything for the business. And now it's like, I don't know how to do this part, but spirit says, watch this person. Watch that person. Now I want you to make a catalog of life. And all of a sudden I'm pulling shit from thin air. That's what it feels like and looks like, but it's got structure. It's always been there. It's something that you can't really see. But when you start to see it, then you can teach it. So mine sounds more obscure, but yet it can be done. That's what you're supposed to understand. You don't know really what it looks like. I know what I want you to do, but I don't know how to begin. But yet I know all of this. And they said, just begin. And so that's what I've been doing. And a lot of people tell me, well, you need this, this, and this. And it's like, I'm creating it as to which it goes, which means I'd like to see you try it. That's what I want to say. But spirit, when you work with spirit, which is what you've been doing, you are going to be able to hear, oh, you got this definition. Because again, you are a teacher that is ready to teach something that really hasn't been taught before, but how do you do it without a manual? Well, it's the same thing with life, but you're doing it. Okay.
That's the easy part.
It's just the uneasiness, the thing that hasn't finished yet. But during that time, just ask, what do I need to do? What do I need to learn?
I think my fear is that I know that I can rise above, but people like her can be a squeaky wheel and I can ignore most people, but like she went to the police or the animal control and they did, and I don't have a choice. They came and locked me up and
just like that woman tried to take my kids and the way she went about it was wrong. She lied, she did everything she could, and it wasn't until the courts realized, oh, so you had this woman that hated you. Why am I creating it? Again, you're learning to rise above it. And the thing is they're telling me is that you're longing for something. If you can begin to notice when you're doing something, you're longing, and you hear yourself talk about longing, I'm longing for help. I'm longing not to do it alone.
Yeah.
They said if you could pull the energy off the word longing, then you will stop that huge loop. And so when you're ready, like write it down. And when you're ready, you will then start holding R3D because you're getting to that state. Okay. You really are.
Okay.
All right. I need to make sure.
I know. I think I know. I mean, I can do that. I haven't worked on anything in a while. I felt so good. Even though that back of my head, I'm going, I know this is going to blow up and it's going to blow up good. I just, I can't listen to everybody and people think I'm nuts because I should be listening to what the lawyers are saying and all this stuff.
Right. And sometimes doing it alone can be the hardest path, but that's okay.
I should be used to that by now. I've been alone a lot. Well, I got the dogs and the horses.
I love those horses and I love the dogs. But it's okay. It's okay. So what's happening is, yes, you'll hear her little microphone or her camera make sounds right there. And that's because that's her microphone and the camera. Oftentimes that sound, because everybody's saying something in the room, I can hear the sound. Well, I oftentimes hear that sound when we're working.
I have a really bad computer and I need to get another one. Let me see if I can find the sound, because if I would have known it was so bad, I would have
Oh,
turned
no, it's not that bad. It's just that that you know, it's like, it's nothing spooky, nothing weird. I know what it is.
Yeah, it's a bad speaker. It's been like that for a while. So, and this, so maybe one of these days soon, the universe will give me a new computer too.
And so, you know, again, we like to look at and say, what could that represent? Just like in the beginning, it was what the double voices and the echo. And this time is the scratchy, the microphone. Usually a microphone is what you're able to speak into. And if people can't hear you because it's scratchy, or people can't, so maybe we need to understand that it's about the voice, you know. And again, they're pulling me back to that word longing, because that you live there, but you're like, oh man, I know I'm going to have to readjust. I'm going to have to readjust. So by that, I would add R2D, because it has to do with worry, and I know I have to readjust. So we want all of you to win this. We want all of you not have to repeat certain things. So thank you all for the clues. That was wonderful. Thank you.
That was fun.
All right, you, my dear, go heal yourself. I know exactly where you're at. It just feels weird, I know, but just know that you're not quite alone. Call upon the grid anytime. Okay.
I'm doing that. And like I said, I feel really good, but there's always hidden stuff in there. So thank you for helping me with this, and I'll go work on that, and we'll see what happens.
Sounds good.
Tomorrow. Thank
All
you.
right.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you, hon.
Bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So that is good. That is good. Okay, if there's anybody in the room that I've missed, let me know. And if not, then oh, did I give April Lynn hers reading? Because I know that she had to go. So I just knew how to make sure I didn't miss April Lynn. I can't remember. Can't remember if I did it or not. I don't know what's going on with my thoughts, my brains today. Oops. Oh, that means somebody else is here. It's not your mother. This is hair. Somebody plays with their hair and breaks the ends off. Oh, I did. Thank you. So if you play with your hair and you kind of ended up picking at it, understand somebody from the other side's here just saying hello, just so you know. Yeah. He taught you bad manners. Okay. I think I did it. And you guys are great. I love you too. And every one of you can grow, and every one of you can be empowered, and everybody can get stronger, and you can get out of your house. You can. And I love the fact that I can help you. So on the next time I do a show, if I do it right, because I don't think TikTok saves it, I might be a little bit more clumsier, because I'm going to try to set up a phone that, and if I can deal with it, because my face is crooked, and when they do that reverse mirror image or that mirror image, I mean, it throws me off. But maybe I can get slide by. Maybe I could, you know, Spirit can show me how to heal that, so that I can just readjust instead of being lost in it. All right. I pray I didn't miss anybody. And if I did, no, I think I did it. If I did, I'll just end up showing. Yeah, there we go. Okay, guys, you guys are great. I love you all. Thank you so much. And thank you for the sharing. It helps. Well, I'm hoping we can reach more people. This is more of a movement. This isn't about just me making money or getting myself out there. This is a movement. I want more and more people, men and women, doesn't matter, humans. I want you to become a spiritual human. I want you to become your authentic self. I'm so tired of being a byproduct from hell. I'm so tired of all this. We are learning how to resolve, to evolve. We're learning how to heal instead of deal with it. We're learning that we have to sometimes go and heal that which you thought you couldn't. And when you do, you got to learn that you have to feel it to heal it. But just when you start going in doubt, just grab a tool. This wonderful one here, this OMG. When in doubt, heal it out. Okay. And as I love to say, stay blessed.